Going live. Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United versus Watford in the Premier League. It's a midday kickoff. It feels ridiculously early. We've got the team news coming in any moment. So get in the live comments. Got guests joining us through the half. Looking forward to that. Hopefully get Alex with us to talk about the team news in a moment. In fact, let's get your live comments up and working. That's always a big part of the show. Let's have a look. Boom. There you go. Feel part of it. Everybody. Okay, so I'm looking for Herrera to start. I think that's quite a big thing in the game today. I'm not convinced he will do. I think Herrera is sort of going to be that player at Manchester United, isn't he? Who he's always going to be one of the first ones to get kicked off the team. Mark79 saying, come on United, 2-0 win. Morning to Summit, Carrick fan. Don't want to see Lingard, has no end product, says Riaz. I'll be amazed if we see Lingard. What did he do? Let me move over. What did he do in the game last week? In the derby, he was awful. Mkhitaryan's obviously injured. Bailly, we're a bit concerned about that he may be carrying an injury. Could be back to the Blind and Smalling days. Yes, Watford beat West Ham well, 4-2, didn't they? But so did West Brom yesterday. So I'm not concerned about that. We should be beating Watford. I think we need to. The likes of Arsenal, City, Liverpool, all winning well means that we've got to win well. And I think we will win. I think there's a lot of negativity at the moment. I 100% back the manager. And I don't know anybody involved in the United Stand or on the comments who doesn't. If you do, let us know. Rooney will start. JP Gamer says, totally agree with that. Typical Habib Gaming says it'll be 1-2. Don't know who to. Rayan, Kala, let's get it, boys. Let's get on it. There's a lot of people saying 2-1. Score prediction, I'm going 1-0. My FIFA predicts, for anybody who didn't see that last night, was 1-1. Late goal let in. Marino will start with the same team that started against Southampton, says Husmaldin. I think my prediction was Valencia, Shaw, obviously De Gea in goal, Blind and Bailly, Fellaini, Pogba, Rooney, Mata on the right, Martial on the left, and Zlatan up front. I think Herrera deserves to start. I don't think it does Pogba any favours playing with Fellaini and Rooney. Whether they're good or not, the style of play doesn't help him. He needs, like Scholes said in the week, he needs either Herrera next to him to give him some pace and dynamism, and Schneiderlin behind him, or he needs a Carrick or a Schweinsteiger to control the game and give him some. But team news should be flying in any minute. Let's have a look. Instant reaction. It's not in yet, but the minute it comes in, I'll read it out to you. It is now. De Gea in goal, Valencia right back, Smalling and Bailly, no Blind, Shaw at left back, Pogba, Fellaini, Rooney, Rashford, Martial, Ibrahimovic. I'm happy with that side. I don't know what you lot think. We knew Rooney was going to start, didn't we? So that's no surprise. We knew Fellaini would come in, but the fact that Marcus Rashford starts on the right wing is very, very interesting. I'm going to get that team up for you now. Let's have it up. So give us your thoughts, get commenting, let us know what you think about that lineup, because I personally think it's quite a good one. Let me just no, don't want to do it like that. So we've got I want to get rid of the subs. We can do that in a moment, but we've got Rashford in the lineup. As I said, it is an interesting team because Daley Blind, some people thought he might have been the fall guy from the derby, and it appears that he is, because he doesn't start. I thought Smalling, out of the people who were basically having an audition the other night, I thought he was the better one, but I still didn't think he would do enough to dislodge Blind. What are you thinking about that? Because I think there's a lot of people who like Daley Blind. I like him, but I think long term I want to see Smalling and Bailly as my centre backs, but I didn't expect it to happen today. I think Pogba missing out is unfortunate. Not Pogba, sorry. I think Herrera missing out is unfortunate, if not to be expected. But I'm happy with the fact that Martial's playing. I'm happy with the fact that Zlatan is playing, and I'm happy with the fact that Rashford is playing. You can't get it all, but it's not that far off as to what I would be sort of happy with. So the bench, for those who were wondering about it, you've got who have we got? We've got Blind, we've got Carrick, and Herrera, Young, Mata and Memphis. So I'm trying to think who's not really made it. Schneiderlin. I said Schneiderlin had a poor game, didn't I? And a lot of people said, "Oh, what game have you been watching? You played really, really well." Well, obviously he didn't play that well because he's not made it even onto the bench. So that's interesting in itself. So subs for you. We've got Romero, We've got Blind on the bench. We've got Carrick. We've got Herrera. I think that is unfortunate. We've got Young. We've got Mata, and we've got Memphis. So I'm quite surprised by that. I don't know what you lot think. You're always going to get surprises, I think. Not as bad as when we had Lou Van Gaal, but the team is now going along the bottom. That's the main thing. Rashford starts. Very pleased about that. Very pleased about that. And I think we'll go to some of your comments now and see what you lot think. Because, I mean, ultimately, what do you think? Are you happy with that lineup? I think Alex is going to drop on in a minute, which is good. But Blind dropped. Blind is dropped. No Mkhitaryan, says Summit, but he is injured. How is Memphis the fraud on the bench, says W00T777. Left-hand side is world-class, Shaw, Pogba and Martial. So confused why no Herrera, says Alex Crossland. Yeah, I do sort of agree with you. But Alex is online, so he should be with us in a minute. Schneidlin not even involved at all. I don't like taking justification that I was right, but I said he had a bad game, and a lot of people seem to think he had a good game. I don't think he did. I don't think he took the opportunity, and I would have played Carrick today. I think we needed somebody to control the midfield, but he obviously, for whatever reason, he doesn't really fancy Michael Carrick as that option, so he doesn't pick him. But I don't know what we're watching Chelsea v Liverpool there on BT at the moment, but let's get that out. So, still waiting on Makia is injured. The team is spiffing, says Jiggy Puff 309. Glad that Martial is starting, says Summit again. Carrick should start, says Peels. Mark Goldbridge, if James Rodriguez comes in January, do you think Griezmann will come next summer? I don't know. I wouldn't mind both of them, to be honest, because Patrick's not happy, saying WTF, Herrera not starting. Predicted that would happen, and unfortunately it did happen, so that is it's disappointing, but it was always predictable that it would happen. Such is life. Mata should be at number 10. What I sort of wanted to happen was I wanted Herrera to start in the middle and maybe put Rooney to the right, because he played, he went out on the left, didn't he, against who was it? Hull, and we got that late goal. He went out on the right against Man City and he caused a few problems. So it is interesting. Alex, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep. Let's see if we can.
Are we playing at 12?
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell? I've never seen a game on at 12. I was just seeing that the team sheet's out. I was thinking that we were playing at 12:30.
Yeah, 12 o'clock kickoff. So you've seen the team.
I haven't yet. But
okay, it's going along the bottom, but I'll read it out for you so you can take it in. And for those who've joined us late, it's De Gea in goal, Valencia right back, Smalling and Bailly centre backs, Shaw left back, Fellaini, Pogba, Rooney as we expected, Rashford on the right, Martial on the left, and Zlatan up front. I think there's a few people upset that Herrera's not starting. I expected that. Schneidlin's not even on the bench. I said he had a bad game, and some people seem to think he had a good game, but I don't think he did, and he's not even on the bench. It's Carrick, Herrera as the midfield options. Obviously, Blind's on there, Memphis is on there, Young's on there, and Mata's on there. But I'm happy with the fact that Martial's playing. I really wanted him to come back in. I was a bit worried that maybe Jose didn't fancy him. I'm happy that Rashford's playing. Obviously, Zlatan's got to play. The midfield's a bit of a concern because I still think that midfield will cause this is the reason Pogba's not playing that well. And I'm happy with Smalling coming in with Bailly. I think long term that's the best connection. But over to you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was happy with that. I didn't think Rooney was going to be dropped, but I still think that he's holding the team back because I don't think that 4-2-3-1 really works with this team. I think like against City especially, we needed to play 3 in midfield because we just got overrun in midfield, and then when we swapped to 3 in midfield in the second half we did a lot better. But then saying that, we kind of played with 3 in midfield against Feyenoord and it didn't really work out, so maybe Rooney isn't the problem. But with Feyenoord it was more of a lot of the players were getting their first minutes of the season, so you can't really blame it on that. Overall the team, I am quite happy with it. I've been championing Blind, but against City he made I put him at fault for both of the goals. I know some people have varying opinions for the second goal, I think it was. But I would have played, because we were worrying about this like holding midfielder, I would have played Blind as the holding midfielder because of his range of passing. Then he'd basically act like a third centre-back, which I think would be an option, but we're clearly going to stick with 4-2-3-1. It's not going to change, so I am happy. Rashford from right wing, I prefer him on left wing, but he can do it on right wing. He's done it for England and he has done it for United, so I'm over the moon with him starting. I think he's going to be, like, if he plays well today, I think he will be on the wing for the rest of the season because he's such a key player for us and he's just played so well. With Martial, I'm getting a little bit worried. How did you think he played on Thursday? Because I didn't think he was particularly that great, but I've seen someone say he was good.
I thought the substitutions on Thursday, and I don't know what people think on the live comments, but I thought the substitutions, which were Memphis, Young and Zlatan for Rashford, Martial and Mata, I think that killed our momentum in the game. I mean, it was a difficult game, but I actually thought Rashford, Martial and Mata, whilst not being brilliant, they didn't do anything wrong. They kept trying, and I thought Martial was much improved than what he's been probably since that Bournemouth game where he basically won us the game for 15 minutes. He was more like that.
I think with the final game, a big problem with the obviously hindsight is 2020, but I would have started Memphis. He was the top goal scorer in the Eredivisie. Every single good game he's had for United has been in the Europa League or Champions League. And like I said, he was the top goal scorer in that league. He knows how to score against teams like that. He's probably scored against Feyenoord before. And I think he would have been really motivated going into that game to play well. So I was a bit disappointed that he didn't get a chance.
Yeah, I'm glad he's playing today because I sort of suspected that he might not get his chance. But it's interesting. I think it's really good about Rashford. I mean, Mkhitaryan's not involved to everybody out there because he's injured. I think he's got to become involved at some point. I don't care if it's number 10 or on the right midfield. But the reality is, you know, if people are on the bench because we've got too many good players, that's always a good thing. I agree with Alex. I think Rashford can really cement himself in that team now. And it just shows Memphis really that, you know, Rashford we thought would be on the bench because he's, you know, rightly going to be second to Zlatan. He's forced himself into the team on the right side. So Memphis can do it. I think he's just got to be a bit more dynamic and take his opportunities. But I prefer Martial, I've got to be honest. Lee Poulton's just said Martial wasn't great, but was a slight improvement from what we've seen this season. I would agree with that. But this front three, so much of it, I always keep saying when we're doing the watch-alongs what I will be watching. And essentially, I will be watching the same two players again, Fellaini and Rooney. How Fellaini feeds the ball from the back to the middle, and what Rooney does as the number 10, which is so important to the likes of Rashford, Zlatan, Pogba. You know, the four players around him. When he gets the ball, he's got to play. He's got to be feeding them. None of this dropping and playing your 40-yard pass to Valencia and his little dinky crosses. We've got to be a bit more dynamic. We've got a lot of pace on the wing. We've got to use that. Use Shaw as well. Use the left-hand side. And Fellaini, for no matter how many people like him, and I actually agree he was going to start today, because there's no, you know, I probably would have played Carrick, but I thought Fellaini was the better option over Schneiderlin. I don't think Schneiderlin did enough in the week. But the reason we got overrun in the midfield by City is because, for whatever does Fellaini brings good, he can't pass further than 10 yards, he's slow, and City were all over him like a fat kid on cake, and that's why we got swamped. Fellaini needs to get rid of that ball quicker. And that's where I if I'm worried about this game, it's the Fellaini and Rooney positions, which is probably Rooney more because he's got to feed Zlatan, Martial and Rashford. That's, you know, it's all right slagging Zlatan off, although he is scoring a goal every game. It's all right slagging Martial off, but watch how many times they actually get good ball.
It absolutely blows me away that anyone slags Zlatan off at all, because I saw some idiotic Irish reporter say that the two players that are going to hold Man United back this season were Pogba and Zlatan, but it's like, because Zlatan is overweight apparently. But how can you criticise someone if he's got 4 goals in 4 games, brand new to a league at 34 years old? And if you include pre-season, he's on something like 7 in 7 or 8 in 8 or something like that. So it's just absolutely ridiculous to criticise him. But you say about with pace on the wings, I was talking with Key about this at work, and it is kind of true what he says, and I'm sure he'll bring it up on the show, hopefully not to a detriment effect about this game. But he said about our only player, when we say pace on the wings, that actually runs into the space is Rashford. Like, you can knock a ball into space and he'll sprint onto it, and Martial always wants the ball into feet and then to dribble around people, whereas he doesn't. Like, if we tell him that he needs to be running into space, then he'll be a lot better player rather than just always just like stopping, passing to him and then him running with it. Like, because he is one of our fastest players, probably in like the top 2, top 3. So he just needs to exploit his pace more than he has been. With Fellaini, he started all right to the season. He hasn't been like breathtaking, but he's been like above his normal standard. So we can't really criticise him yet. But he is a bit static, like you say. His passing isn't the best, and long term I wouldn't use him. But as Jose said, he's going to be a really, really important player for us this season, and apparently by the end of the season we'll all love him, according to Jose. So that makes me think he's one of the first names on the team sheet, just like Rooney would probably be the first, Fellaini would probably be the second.
Yeah, there's a good comment here from Alex Chandaroff. Mark, do you think Rooney playing slightly better each game, or is it just me? It's just you, mate. It's just you, mate. Dan Martin saying Rooney assist. Play Mkhitaryan says Jones gaming, he's injured. Herrera has to start and we need to bench Rooney, says Wyatt. I mean, I don't know. I'll ask Alex what his thought is on that. I mean, I've got two questions for you, really. One, Herrera. I like Herrera. I think he did really well against City in the derby, and I think that second half performance should have been enough for him to start this week, because we all knew Feyenoord Europa League is almost like a League Cup game, really. It's not our priority. So I'm disappointed for Herrera, because I think that second half in the league last week was the performance that should have got him in the team this week. But then you look at the midfield and you think, he's not going to drop Rooney, we know that. He's obviously not going to drop Pogba. And to be fair, Herrera can't be the defensive midfielder. You need a bit of grit. So he was never going to play. He deserves to play. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I'll go about that and then I'll ask you the next one.
Yeah, with Herrera, I think Jose does rate him, but I think the thing that holds him back is his height, and that Jose wants like a big team, I think. And but he said he singled him out for praise in the City game, even though we lost, saying he was terrific and all that. And then he started him against Feyenoord. I think he does rate him, and I think he will get a lot of games this season. But I think this will be our main team in the Premier League, especially if Rashford plays well today and we win. I reckon this will be just the team that starts every single game, because Jose always, in the Premier League at least, seems to start the exact same 11 every single game. He hasn't figured out his best 11 yet, but I think once he finds it out, then he's just going to stick with that. And I'm hoping, because I really like this team on paper, that I'm hoping it would be this, because we actually have pace in the side, down the wings, and that includes with Valencia and Shaw. So I just hope we need to really break this bad spot, with the City winning yesterday and Everton are doing really well as well. Liverpool, obviously, with their big win. I was thinking that the top three was going to be easily sorted with United, City and Chelsea, and whatever order become champions. But it seems it's going to be really competitive again, which is quite worrying.
Well, we've got Leicester next week, and they won again. I don't think Leicester are going to be anywhere near the top four, but I still think they're a decent side. So we do need to win today, and that's my next question to Alex and everybody else: is this a must-win game already? And by that I mean, obviously, I'd want to win games, but I think, can we afford to not win it is the thing. But there's a few comments in there I just wanted to sort of pick up on. Paul Gardner, obviously, hello Paul. Herrera better than as an impact player, interesting. Wawa FIFA 16 says Herrera's actually 6 foot, I didn't know that. Riaz Rahman says Mata and Carrick for Rooney and Fellaini would be perfect. You can't have everything, Riaz. I think somebody had said that already. I certainly would be. That would probably be my perfect team, to be honest, at the moment. Although I'd rather have Schweinsteiger. It just baffles me. We were leaderless on Thursday, and people said we missed Rooney. I don't know why do people think Rooney's a leader? I mean, it's one of the big things we've levelled at him for the last 3 years. He's nothing like a leader on the pitch. Whatever he's done, he's not acting like a leader on the pitch. I think we've got enough to win this game. I think this probably is his best team at the moment. It's interesting that Blin's dropped and Fellaini's still retained, because I thought Fellaini was playing primarily because he's tall to stop the long ball over into the flank that Blind will get done for pace. But Smalling doesn't have that problem, and he's still picked Fellaini. I think we'll be fine today. I think against the bigger teams like we saw last week, I still think Valencia will get exposed at right back. I think Fellaini will get overrun because of his lack of ability to pass more than 5 to 10 yards, and ultimately he's just not very mobile. Ideally, in that defensive midfield position, you want Matuidi. You want somebody who's powerful, quick, and break up play. Kante, someone like that's what we want. Fosu Mensah, when he's ready, that's what we want in that position. I think at the moment we haven't got the right player, and Fellaini's, for whatever reason, is the pick of the bunch. But I think we'll have enough today. But Alex, must-win game?
Without a doubt, purely because in terms of points, obviously the 5th game of the season, so it isn't like that necessary. But in terms of confidence, I think it's an absolute must-win. We're off the back of 2 losses. I think the last time Jose lost 3 games in a row, he was at Porto. So for his confidence, that's one thing, and then number 2 for the team's confidence. you can understand the City loss. They obviously were by far the better team in the first half, but then when we changed it up a bit, we came back into the game second half. And then I'll just put down the final defeat just down to a lack of match fitness on some of the players. But today, if we lose, we have to be winning these games. And I know under Van Gaal, this is the sort of game we'd lose or draw, and under Moyes it would be the exact same. But we need to be beating these so-called smaller teams away from home. So I would start to worry because of how well some of the other teams are doing if we were to even draw today.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you that next as well about Jose. But I think we've got every right to be greedy. We had a fantastic summer, probably the best summer we've ever had. But we should never forget what became before that summer, which is 3 years of real shit. We'd have probably been ecstatic with 9 points from 4 last year because we've been battling for 4th place for the last 2 years, and we didn't get near it the year before that. So to be sort of saying, well, we've lost 1 from 4, it's right to be critical, but as you said, the second half against City we were much improved. I think we lost against City because players just didn't turn up in the first half. I think Feyenoord, that was never a loss really. I mean, you lose games in football, that happens, but it wasn't really a lost performance. I thought a draw was a fair result. But Mike Doherty saying got to win to keep in touch. I think that's really, really good. Stoney Holmes saying he's got a good feeling we'll win 3-0. Must win game, says Shijan. But yeah, I do agree with what Alex is saying now. I think it's a must-win game because we do need to keep in touch. These are the sort of games we should be winning. But I don't buy into the negativity realistically. I think where the negativity is coming from is the fact that we lost to the derby, which is understandable. There seems to be. I watched the game against Feyenoord on Thursday, and maybe it's because I'm totally convinced at this stage that Jose is the right man. But a lot of people were saying this is boring. It's just the same as Louis van Gaal. And weren't very happy, and I think style of play is bothering a few people. I mean, what are your thoughts, Alex, and where do you think people are right to sort of criticise the way we're playing under Jose?
Embarrassingly, I didn't hear this, but my friend said he was listening to TalkSport and there were Man United fans calling in saying that they want Jose sacked, which is just absolutely disgraceful. But in terms of the play style, I think, and I saw people on Twitter disagreeing with this and like talking about it, but I think you can't just change out a Louis van Gaal's style that they've had drilled into them for 2 years in the space of 5-6 games. It's going to take a while to implement the new strategy. We're not going to park it against every team. I think I understood the parking it against City because they're obviously such a good team and everything, and then we were aiming to hit them on the counter, which didn't really work. But that has worked against Pep Guardiola sides in the past when they got 5 put past them by Bayern or whoever it was. But the play style doesn't really bother me. I think we've had the least possession in every game we've played, I think, but we've done more with the possession when we have got the ball, and I way prefer having less possession because I hate possession football anyway. But I way prefer having less possession, actually looking more dangerous, and we do look better going forward than we did under Van Gaal, and I think we still look at the back fairly solid. It'll be interesting to see this Bay-Smalling partnership if this works, but Bay's just been a revelation, and I really hope he keeps it up. But I think we're still, I might be wrong, but as far as I can think, that we're still the least amount of goals conceded in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you fed that in because that was going to be my next comment anyway. Is Smalling the better option than Blind? And I think it's a great topic because it will divide opinion, like many things seem to with United at the moment. But just looking at, so there was a comment here from Shaka Phillips. He's put it up twice. He said, "Do you think these are good options for centre back? Manolas, Rami, Martinez, Cellini, Ferran." They are good options, but they're 3 or 4 months away options. We've got till January to play with what we've got, and ultimately it comes down to whether you prefer Bay. I mean, it's fantastic. We've said this a couple of times, me and Alex, that Bay deserves massive applause because he shouldn't be doing what he's doing. He is the number 1 centre back, and I think when you saw Smalling and Bay playing for the first time on Thursday, I'm a big fan of Smalling. I thought he was dominant last year for most of the season. He tailed off a bit at the end. But seeing them together, you can physically see that Bay is better than Smalling, just the way he conducts himself, more passion, better on the ball. So it's who's going to play with him really, Smalling or Blind. where do you? I'm gonna have a little think. I know what I think, but I'm just trying to think of how I want to word it. But where do you stand on this? Because I know Dan was on last week and he was firmly in the Blind camp, as I know some people on the live comments are. They love him, but on the other hand, some think Smalling and Bay are our best options.
I haven't seen enough of the partnership yet to fully decide, but Blind and Bay had a really good partnership up until the City game, obviously. But in like terms of size and everything, I think they do look a really commanding presence, Bay and Smalling. And people were saying before, like, oh, Smalling needs someone who can play the ball next to him, which no one really knew. Well, no one knew anything about Bay before he signed. But then, like, up until I think the last game, he had the highest pass percentage in the whole league. And it's not like he's always playing little short balls. He actually does play long balls and stuff. I think he's a really good passer of the ball. I know I've spoken bad about Belinda holding midfielder in the past, but I actually think it could work if we want to be shored up defensively. Maybe not in all games, but just in games where we need to be more solid. To play Blind holding, and then you have Herrera and Pogba pushing forward, and then he'd basically act like a third centre back just in front of Bay and Smalling, and then he obviously has a great range of passing. But if not Blind, then someone who hasn't had a single minute all season, you could play Carrick. Once again, it boils down to Rooney, and I'm not trying to be anti-Rooney and everything. I'm just saying more the formation doesn't seem to work so far. But if anything, if you have to accommodate Rooney in the team, then just throw him on like right wing or something, which I think he has played right wing so far this season. And obviously in the past he has played on the wing. I know he's not an ideal winger by any stretch, and I'd much rather have Rashford, Martial, etc. there. But I'm saying if we have to have Rooney in the team, which it appears under England and United, under every single manager apart from Fergie, who realised that he was finished, that you have to have him in the team.
I was just watching the Negredo goal yesterday because I've got him in my fantasy Premier League team, and how he doesn't get an assist for that, even though it's a foul, I'll never know. Had a disastrous week anyway. Everton winning again. Koeman's starting to do good things there. But on the Smalling Blind thing, I think today, we know what Watford are about. They're about Igala and Deeney. They're about power and pace. That probably isn't where Blind's is best used. So maybe that was the thought behind
their best performance so far. I haven't seen a single one of their games, but judging from fantasy football, is the top earning midfielder in the whole game so far is Kapua. So,
I know. I looked at him.
That's down to fluke, or if he's actually been playing well, or what.
I actually mentioned to somebody at work right at the start of the season that I might get Kapua because he's so cheap, and then I thought he never scores, and then obviously he can't stop scoring. But I don't think Watford will hold out much problems for us. I think United's problems at the moment are just self-made, as they have been for a few years. Lack of confidence, players out of form, not creating enough chances. One thing against Feyenoord I will hold my hands up is that we didn't create many chances. There was one for Martial in the first half. We didn't create many chances. Feyenoord got a good chance and they scored from it. But we've got to create more chances, and I think that's fair to say. But I can't keep saying it, but it's true that the number 10 is the most important player in most teams, because they're the creative source. And I just think that Rooney has been rather poor. And as I say, switching it out to Valencia all the time it's predictable. It's easy to deal with, and we need to mix it up. We need to use the left hand side. But we need to start creating chances. That's for sure. In relation to the Smalling thing, though, Smalling and Bay are the centre backs that I would rather we used, and that's where I'm at with that. So I can't say that I'm disappointed by that selection, and I'll watch it with interest. I think Daley Blind, it was great that we kept him. I thought we were going to lose him at some point. I thought he might go off to Barcelona or something, because he's obviously very loyal to Van Gaal. But I think he's a fantastic squad player, and I think he can offer so much. If Shaw breaks down, Blind would be my left back. Alex would like to see him in the midfield, and he's a good backup as centre back, because we've got that absolute joker in Phil Jones who gets injured when he's not even playing. So, and Rojo, I thought, was just Rojo on Thursday night. I mean, I don't know why we've kept them. I'm amazed by how many players we've let go out the door.
Did I link into the chat, or did you see his stats for the final game?
No.
0% of tackles won, like 0% of aerial duels won, like 0 interceptions. It was just basically 0 for everything, and then 2 fouls.
There's a few people going, yeah, I mean, he's just rubbish. I mean, it's not normal that United fans will call one of their own players rubbish, but he is consistently rubbish. He gets skinned all the time. He's just calamity. He's the Argentinian Phil Jones, as we've said before. But a few people on about Lingard. I think there was some concerns that Lingard might play today. I would have been baffled if he'd played, shocked, because he was awful against City. Jay Wilkinson saying Lingard's useless, belongs at Port Vale. I think that might be a bit harsh. I think he was thrown in at the deep end in the derby. He just didn't look fit. But Alex has got his Lingard top on. Janda says, will Jose turn on his players if we lose today? I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm not anticipating a loss, so it's hard for me to comment on that. Tesla Ray Gunn says Lingard won us the FA Cup. Can't argue with that. Play Joe Riley ahead of Rojo, says Tommy Herald. Belly Frog, Rojo offers nothing going forward and nothing backwards either. He's
but this is the game that we were, wasn't it Schweinsteiger scored, or was it like counted as an own goal in like the last minute? So we didn't exactly dominate them this time last year, did we? So it was a hard game.
I think it will be, and I was going to ask what your score prediction is, because I think it will be a tight game. Jose is what he is. He knows how to win games. And I think whatever anybody is expecting today, whether it's 4 or 5-0, and I'd love it to be that, my experience of Jose would be, I'll answer that question in a minute, NM7HD, is that he will look at today and think, I don't care how the ball goes in the net, whether it goes in off Fellaini's hair or the referee's bottom or, whatever. A fan runs on and kicks it in. I don't think that would be allowed. But he will want to win the game. That's all that matters. And that's why my prediction is 1-0, because I think even if we get ahead, I think he'll tactically change it so that we are tight.
Yeah, one problem that perhaps is coming is like what Key messaged me about, is that saying, and this is what he always says why he didn't want Rashford to start, is because if you look at that bench right now, if things go wrong, we have absolutely nothing really on the bench. Whereas Rashford is obviously a live wire that we can bring on, and when they're tired and his energy and stuff can lead to goals. But at the moment,
Memphis maybe.
Sorry?
Memphis maybe. I know he's out of form.
That's who I replied when he said it. I was like, Memphis, and it was actually Watford that Memphis scored against, wasn't it, this time last year? So you never know, could it happen twice? But yeah, I think Memphis will come on if he's on the bench. So, but we don't really have like someone that's necessarily a game changer. With Mata and Memphis is who I would bring on if we need a goal. But
the containers, isn't it? I looked at the bench. I think you're spot on. I think maybe this team is set up to get a goal in the first half, and then second half contain and protect, because you've got Carrick, Herrera, who's obviously dynamic as well. Mata's a ball retainer. Blind obviously as well. Apart from Memphis, Ashley Young. I mean, I don't know. Ashley Young could probably count himself lucky to be on the bench. I didn't think he did much the other day, but I get where you're coming from. I mean, Memphis would be the spark, but he has, he's been like a box of matches in a swimming pool when it comes to sparks. But maybe he can do it today. NM7HD says, Mark, are you leaving the United stand in big capital? So we'll answer that. No, not at the moment. I know for those who follow the stand, it's been a horrible week, probably the worst week we've ever had. But I think we've sort of like worked through it now and carry it on. Best wishes to everyone who's gone. Obviously, we've done that the other night, and it is carrying on. So yeah, everything is carrying on. But it's been a tough week, and I know some people said I looked very tired the other day. I feel tired. It's been a very challenging week, but it is carrying on. So that's that. Mark, what do you think about Darmian's situation? Yeah, Shabbat, that's another good point. Another player not on the bench like Schneidlin. I'll throw that to Alex. It's hard to get on the bench though, isn't it? We can say, oh, Darmian didn't take his chance, Schneidlin didn't take his chance, but there's a number of players who aren't on that bench today. I don't think Rojo's on the bench either. Fosu Mensah's not on the bench. He didn't even get to run out against Feyenoord, so it's not like he's been dropped. I think it's just hard to get on the bench at the moment. Hopefully he'll play against Northampton.
Yeah, sorry, I was just checking if Rojo was on the bench because he was in the squad that travelled, but yeah, he's not on the bench. Yeah, Darmian, I didn't really think he played that badly defensively. He obviously offered nothing going forward, which Valencia is our option, but I don't get why we didn't buy it. If he doesn't fancy Darmian, why we didn't buy a right back in the summer? Because Jose was always saying, oh, I want specialists in a position, not players playing out of position, yet he seems to keep playing everyone, even today, which I'm not complaining about, but like Rashford on the wing, Valencia at right back. But yeah, Darmian, I don't know, I would have liked to see him get more chance. He was obviously so good when he first signed for us, like those first 10 games, but then he just got ruined by, I think it was like Tadic that game against Southampton, and then since then, like Alexis destroyed him as well. Just anyone with pace just absolutely obliterated him, and then his confidence just went down the pot. And I don't know, I didn't think Schneiderlin, I was really hoping he would like seize the ball by the horns, but didn't really do that great either. Fosu Mensah, anyone who watches the show know I'm a huge fan of him. I really, really wanted him to get on the pitch. I don't care any position. This is another argument that me and Key have, because I always say to him, oh, just play him at right back or like anywhere just to get him on the pitch. He's like, no, you're going to ruin him playing him out of position, because he wants him to be a midfielder, and just like he says the same about playing Rashford on the wing. But I think at this young age, just play them like anywhere. Obviously, long term, don't play in there. But Fosu Mensah did really good at right back defensively last season. Like if you remember the Spurs game when we were away to Spurs, he was by far man of the match on both teams, and then he went off the pitch and Darmian came on for him, and they got 3 goals down Fosu Mensah's side in the space of about 5-10 minutes. He's a brilliant player, but we're playing, who's it, like Northampton or something in the Capital One Cup on like either Wednesday or Thursday, and hopefully Fosu gets his first start there, and if he really impresses, which I hope he will, then hopefully that leads to him forcing his way into the Premier League sides.
Yeah, I think he's one for the future. I mean, ideally, as we were saying before, you need a Kante or a Matuidi in that defensive midfield position who's quick. Fellaini just hasn't got that, and he never will have that. But I think Fosu Mensah, I've said it before, he sort of reminds me of a Michael Essien type, and I think that is his future. It's whether he can get into that team at the moment, and youth. Maybe youth is the problem in relation to that, but. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Schwein would be a good partner for Pogba, but his fitness is unrecoverable. Legs have gone, basically. Talking about Schweinsteiger. I like Schweinsteiger, but I think it's very similar to the Rooney situation. I don't talk about Rooney being dropped because I don't actually believe he ever will be. And I don't talk about Schweinsteiger forcing his way back into the team because I don't think he ever will do. I think it's stubbornness. Jose would not bring Schweinsteiger back in because, unfortunately, the way the press work is they would mug him off and say, you've been made to look stupid, and Jose won't let that happen. In fact, he's just sat in the tunnel reading the programme at the moment, looks very relaxed. I love Jose. I think he's absolutely fantastic and 100% the right man. And to be honest, I was thinking about this the other day. What if it doesn't work out? Because anything can happen in life, and what if it doesn't work out? I will be absolutely gutted. I really want it to work out. I really want him to be the man who does it. You can't be 100% sure, but I'm very, very sure it will. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not. I really want it to work out with him. And you know what? You all know what I think of Fellaini, and I don't moan about it, really. I still want him to be sold. I still don't think he's the right man, but I'm not moaning every game he's picks because, and a lot of that is to do with my respect and backing of this manager. I believe in him, and if he thinks that, I might disagree with it, but I will back him because I think we've got to do that. And I like Alex the other night, I was absolutely stunned by some of the tweets that were going out on Twitter after the Feyenoord loss. And it was like, we gave Van Gaal 2 years. Jose's had not even had 2 months, really, and we're jumping on his back. And the reality is, we had one bad half against City, which you can't afford against a decent team, and we still lost. We only lost 2-1, and we could have got a draw out of that. And Feyenoord, we played a load of people who haven't played before, and to be honest, none of them stepped up. Smalling's quite lucky to play today because I thought he was the best of the bunch, but Schneiderlin, Darmian, Rojo, Memphis when he came on, Ashley Young, none of them did enough to be selected today. I know I feel sorry for Herrera, but he'd played well in the derby. So, the Feyenoord loss doesn't mean much to me. I think it was a draw. So I think a lot of the hate is, not hate, but the fear is from the fact that we lost the derby, and that is disappointing, but that can happen. It's a derby, and we just messed it up in the first half. And what I was going to say to Alex there is where I went with my match reaction on Thursday is that the players have got to take a responsibility. I do think the players have got to take a responsibility. The manager can do the tactics, etc. But I think you look at on the pitch on Thursday, Feyenoord it was like PSV last year when Shaw got his thing. That was my fear. They were really dirty, and the referee was very weak. But if that's the case, you step your game up and you start being dirty and you fight back. And we lacked a leader. We lacked a leader on Thursday, and I think that's one thing that Jose will implement. But they've had 2 years of a man who told them off if they got a yellow card and was a dictator. And Jose is totally different, and he's got to instill his way of thinking into the players, and that can take time.
Yeah, we've lacked a proper leader for since Vidic, really. But I think Zlatan is like quite a leader, but he isn't really necessarily hugely vocal. That's what the pundits were saying about after the final game, about how Rooney is the only vocal player in the team, but it's hard for him to be vocal when he's so far up the pitch. But he is vocal, but I don't know whether it's necessarily constructive when he's doing it. I can't remember some game, I think it was like maybe in his first season as captain, where he just stood there and like berated the whole team when he wasn't performing well either. So you need to like lead by example, I think. But Rooney really needs to start playing well. But we do need more leaders in the team, and it is starting. Like I think Smalling could potentially be a leader one day. I think once Rooney's gone, that I hope personally that our new captain's De Gea, but that doesn't always happen with goalkeepers. But yeah, I think leadership issues is a problem. But as you say, that's Schweinsteiger was a leader. He's won everything there is to win in the game. So even just for the dressing room, even in like the Carrick role, how like Carrick hasn't played a minute yet, but he's obviously got experience, so he's good to have around the dressing room. It would be more constructive to have Schweinsteiger around the dressing room than just forcing him to train with the reserves. It isn't going to make a slight bit of difference to the team, because he's still on your books, you're still paying him, but he'd just be with the team. Otherwise, it looks even more bad, because like people will just be looking at, oh, if they treat a like legend like Schweinsteiger like that, would it be the right club to go to, etc. Like, just he can be in the team, and then just say, oh, he needs to force his way into the team, and then you just don't let him play anyway.
It's an interesting thing, because obviously Schweinsteiger's been quite complimentary in his tweets and stayed in the public eye. But there was that one from a lot of people when they were sort of slating Schweinsteiger were like, oh, if he'd focused on football more than his wife's tennis career and this, that, and the other. And there was that rumour that players were unhappy with him last year because he was going back to Germany with his injuries, and Van Gaal treated him different to other players. But then Rooney tweeted something the other week saying, happy birthday or well done on your retirement to my big mate Schweinsteiger. So it doesn't look like there's a rift between Rooney and Schweinsteiger, and Rooney's obviously the big character who everyone looks up to. I mean, I always say it's funny that Rashford obviously worships Rooney, but he's 10 times better than him. So it's odd, but I don't see Schweinsteiger coming back in. What you said about, I want to move on to Herrera for a few minutes, but what you said about Carrick surprises me, because one thing Carrick does, he's on a decline because of injuries and maybe a loss in pace, but what Carrick does, it's a bit like Pirlo. I know he's not a Pirlo, but his positional awareness is brilliant, his reading of the game is brilliant, and he can hit 40-yard passes along the ground into people like Rashford, Martial and Zlatan. So I'm surprised Carrick hasn't had any minutes. I do find that really odd, and I don't think United fans have really picked up on that enough, because it's odd why we kept him to not use him. And without
especially if we gave him a new contract, so yeah. Jose was clearly the one that gave the okay to the contract.
Yeah, and I don't care what anybody says, Michael Carrick is a better option in defensive midfield than Marouane Fellaini. It's fact. There is no argument about it. It is 100% fact. The only thing Fellaini's better at is heading the ball. Carrick's better in every department. So it is odd. What a lot of people are not happy about, Alex, and we touched on it a bit, and Jamie O'Hare perfectly has just come in with the comments, Herrera should be starting this match, hardest worker in the United side. I feel that Herrera is always going to be that player, a bit like the always the bridesmaid, never the bride sort of player at United. I don't know whether he deserves that, but as I said, he should have been playing, because his Derby performance was superb in the second half when everybody else was poor. But I think he misses out for two reasons, and that's Paul Pogba and Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, but you can't really blame him for missing out for Pogba, because obviously Pogba is a far superior player. With Rooney, I think it's just because he wants to stick to this 4-2-3-1, and he seems to think Rooney's the best number 10 that we have. But our key problem has always been that we don't create many chances, and Rooney as like a number 10 isn't really that creative. I'd like to see maybe at some point in the season, in some game, maybe not an important one, just to test it, is playing Mkhitaryan at right wing and then Mata at number 10, and just see if we do create a lot more chances that way. Because against Feyenoord, it was like Rashford's big chance to play up front on his own. He got absolutely no service whatsoever. It was ridiculous, which is worrying. Because it's like, what was it last season that I kept on saying the stat over and over again? Oh no, it was the season before we created less chances than QPR or something. And then last season, I think only Aston Villa had less shots than us. And it seems to be the same problem this season. So maybe the players that we've been always thinking are creative aren't necessarily that creative, or it's down to play style. It's a hard conundrum to really solve.
Yeah, I mean, I can give quite a short answer on this, to be honest, and it really does come down to the fact, like Alex said, that Herrera can't be a defensive midfielder. You've got, in fairness to, I think it should be Carrick or Schneiderlin, but Schneiderlin missed his chance on Thursday, so it's Fellaini. That's fine. I don't think Herrera can take that position. I really do not. But I think he maybe deserves to start today. I would probably, the only position he can take is Rooney's, and in fairness, like Alex said there, he can't take Pogba's. We've got to stand by Pogba. He's going to be a great player, and you can't drop a player who's been bought for that much money. I think he's struggling with fitness. He's got to play. Rooney's not going to be dropped, so where does Herrera play? It really comes down to, he's really unlucky, but where does he play? That's basically what I think about it. Alex, don't think we got a score prediction from you.
I think was Watford's win against West Ham their first win of the season, wasn't it?
I wouldn't like to commit to it, but you may well be right.
Because that's what I read that I think it was. But they obviously, in their last game, was against West Ham, and they won 4-2 when they were 2-0 down at half time. So.
Well, they've got a lot of effort. I mean, they're going to be. That's one of the things from the game, isn't it? They are going to be up for it, and they're going to put a lot of effort in. That's for sure. We've got to fight. It's like Feyenoord. We should learn from Feyenoord, really.
I'm going to go with 2-0 because I'd like to see us keep a clean sheet. Obviously, we didn't in the last game when it was Bailly and Smalling's first game, but that was offside, and it's our first team playing today, so I'm going to go with 2-0, and I hope we actually play well. I think the performance is just as important as the result.
Yeah, I'm happy with the result, to be honest. I know Alex is going to probably shoot off because he's got to get down the pub to watch the game, which is in 15 minutes, but obviously it's Sunday, so Sunday Night Live will be on at 8:30 tonight, and I think we've got Alex and Key definitely confirmed, so that will be interesting. Hopefully we're going to be celebrating a win. The games are coming thick and fast at the moment. We've got Northampton on Wednesday in the League Cup. I would hope to see the likes of Fosu Mensah, maybe Tuan Sebi as well. That would be nice. And then obviously next Saturday it is another game against Leicester. So lots going on, but we will obviously be live, and Alex will be back then. Thanks for coming on, Alex.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Let's hope for a win, and let's hope when I'm on at 8:30 that it'll be with good news after a win.
Yeah, I hope so too, because I think if we're talking, if we draw, we'll probably be unhappy. I think if it's a loss, we're going to have all sorts of meltdown. But it's important to keep it in-house, I think. Are you still hanging around, Alex?
No, if it's alright, I need to shoot up.
Oh yeah, I thought you were going then.
So thanks a lot. I just didn't know if I hang up it won't end like your thing or anything with it.
No, just go. Yeah, it's fine, mate.
Okay, see you guys later at 8:30. Bye.
Cheers, Alex. See you in a bit. Yeah, I think he makes a good point that we obviously will be live at 8:30. That's a good point, but a loss would cause us all sorts of problems, and we don't want to see that, do we? United will win, says Darshat. Not going to be an easy game, says Paul Coyle. I think I agree with you. It isn't going to be a very easy game by any means. Popo Hoppo, Mark, you noticed all the other. Yeah, well, I don't know how many are doing it now. Let us know. Liverpool, says Pop Andre. Good win for them yesterday, but we don't like them. Fosu Mensah needs a shot at CDM, says Stadio 7. Interestingly, on my FIFA predicts last night, Fellaini got sent off. So let's hope that doesn't happen. I've always said that Fellaini is a red card waiting to happen. He seems, you can't have it one way, you can't have it the other. It seems to me that Fellaini under Jose has curbed a lot of his aggression, which he's never been able to do over the last few years. However, we are only 4 or 5 games in, so it's not definitely known. Pogba and Rashford to score 2-1 United. How are you feeling? Not heard from him, mate, so not likely. I hate the Scousers, need points for my FPL. Watford are going to put 11 men behind the ball, keep tight to us and hit us on the break. Going to be a tough game, says John Murray. Yes, I'm excited about Manchester United all the time now because I think we've got the right manager, we've got some fantastic players. It's difficult, it's going to take time, but today will be a difficult game because Watford are at home, their crowd will be up for it. They've had a good win against Watford, and one thing against West Ham, and one thing Watford are is hard-working, battling, and we've got to give some of that back. So we've got to go toe to toe. We've got the better players, but that doesn't always win you games. Leicester are the prime example. That you can win a league on hard work and togetherness. So that's one thing that Jose will implement, and I think when we start to implement that, everything else will fall into place. One of the big things that people say is, well, Pep's implemented it very quickly at City, why haven't we? Well, one thing, we only lost to City because of a bad first half. Other than that, we've won every game. I agree that we haven't clicked into the way of playing, but a lot of that comes down to the dictatorship that a lot of our players have been playing under for the last 2 years. Pellegrini at City, yeah, they massively underachieved last season. I think they won the title the year before that. He wasn't a dictator. They're just mercenaries who, they can't retain a title. They win it one year and they haven't got the backbone to do it the next year after that. They're mercenaries. When the pressure's off, they play well, which is what's happening at the moment. But City haven't had a dictator, completely suppressing what they're about. So Pep's come in, but he's took over a load of players who actually were playing freely last year as well. Aguero was still scoring loads of goals last year. There was still a decent team last year. De Bruyne, not much has changed. Jose's come in, and no matter what he tries to do, he's still got Rooney, Memphis, Schneiderlin, Herrera, a load of other players who've had 2 years under Van Gaal, who's basically been like, you don't pass it forward, you do this side-to-side thing, you don't argue with the referee, you don't start doing silly tackles, you don't get in the referee's face, which is totally contrary to what Jose wants. So he's got to not only bring his players in, change a squad that's got a lot of dead wood, he's also got to implement his playing style. His playing style is to be a bit like Sir Alex, get after the opposition, get in the referee's face, be competitive, which is totally opposite to what Van Gaal has had. So it's not only the football, it's the mentality in the players, and it's going to take time, and that's my thought on it. Youssef wants a man of the match prediction. I've never had to do one of those before. I would say Rashford. Youssef, score prediction, WPMUFC. Liverpool and City have looked best so far, says Jurgen Klopp. Play with tempo and we'll win. One thing I just wanted to have a very quick look at while I've got you, because we are 10 minutes off kick-off, so not too long to go. A lot of you are going for a United win. Don't underestimate how difficult this game is going to be. It will be difficult, but I expect us to win as well, but I'm going for a 1-0 win. And to be honest, I would take absolutely any win from today. And I think 3 points is all that matters. People are worried because Liverpool are winning well at Chelsea, Arsenal won well, City are beating teams well. At the end of the day, goal difference doesn't really matter that much at the moment. It will come into play, but at the moment it's about winning games, and that's why I loved the Hull result, because it was late on. We looked like we were going to draw, and we won 1-0. Maybe Arsenal went to Hull yesterday and they won comfortably, didn't they? They won, was it 4-1, something like that. So well done to them, but it's so early in the season and so much is going to change that actually I'd rather we just get 3 points on the board, if you know what I mean. And I have to believe that we will. What I wanted to have a look is, and I'm not a gambler, is I just wanted to have a quick look as to what sort of odds you can get on a United win. If anybody does do that sort of thing, you can let us know. But let's have a look. Watford v Manchester United. Full time. So United, you can get 1.57, which isn't too bad. I think we'll be all right. I think we'll win it. I'm just trying to see there. There was a comment I wanted to have a look at, but I can't see it. Sorry about this. We're back in the room. Okay, play with tempo and we'll win, says Chris Blunn. However, quick tempo seems a foreign concept to most of these players. 3 points is the most important. Liverpool lose half their players to muscle injuries thanks to Klopp's medieval training, says Meldrew1. Interesting. Mark Goldbridge, how would you feel if we bought James Rodriguez, Fabinho and a centre-back, someone like Manolas, Chiellini? Would you be satisfied, says Shaka? Like I said, transfer talk is so irrelevant at the moment because of how far away that is. We've got to get by with what we've got, and by the time we can sign somebody, a lot of points will have been played for. So we've got to look at what we've got and deal with that. However, I would be happy with those 3 in January because I think we do need a right back, I think we do need a centre back, and I think we do probably need another right midfielder, sort of number 10. So I would be happy with all those 3. Whether it be this summer, next summer, or January, I do not know. But as I said, we signed 4 players this year, and people think, oh, that's enough. It isn't. This squad is riddled with deadwood and needs a massive overhaul. We probably should have sold the likes of Rojo and Jones, but maybe the replacements weren't there and it's difficult to sell them. So I think Jose's halfway through the job. He's made a few signings, he's kept a lot of players I'm surprised he's kept, and I think in January next summer we'll see more big changes. So you're not wrong to say those sort of things. We just have to get by with what we've got at the moment, and that means grinding out results. I've got no issue with us winning 1-0 today and it being a boring game because it's 3 points. I'm on my own today. I've hopefully got somebody coming in at half time, but I am on my own. So I will be heavily relying on the live comments box, and might actually ask one of you two to one of you two. There's more than 2 of you watching. One of you lot to come in. Please do drop us a like. More than ever, this is going to be me and you lot talking today during the game. So what I always like to see from you lot is comments on the game. How is it going? Tactical stuff. Who you think's doing well? Who's not? For me, I'm looking at Fellaini and Rooney. Seem to be looking at them every week, but I think Rooney is the number 10. He's the man who's got to bring that triangle, that square around him, the diamond. Zlatan, Rashford, Martial, and Pogba. He's the one who could make them play well. Fellaini, don't let yourself get pressed like you did against City, and try and get rid of the ball a little bit quicker because we know he's limited with his passing. So they're the 2 positions, and they're really important positions. And what we don't want to do is be getting swamped for pace in the final third, which is what we had. Jimmy wants a shout out from Australia. Just to let you know, we will obviously be live while the match is on, but we can't show you the game. It's a watch along. So what happens is you watch it or don't watch it. We'll still be talking about the game. You don't necessarily have to watch it. If you are watching it, join in with the live comments on how you think it's going. The watch along was basically started up on the premise that a few of you messaged us and asked us to do it, to say, look, I sit watching United, I get so frustrated, why don't you do a show while we're live and we can all talk about it? So it works really well in that sense. We are live streaming, so there will be a delay. That's how it works when you live stream. It can be anywhere between 10 and 20 seconds. So we will have a timer going up above me there when the game kicks off, so that you can sync in with us. You probably have to just pause your footage by about 10-15 seconds, but if you're watching it on your own or whatever, what does it matter? So do join in while the game's live. Give us your comments. I'll be heavily reliant on you lot. Yeah, it's 6 a.m. here in MN, says Trevor Evans. Go United. I don't know where MN is. Good to see Smalling and Rashford starting, says Annie Ruder. I agree. Rob Webb loves the United stand. Well, it's your channel, and it's absolutely going to be massively about you lot today. Steve Tatelbaum says listening in Israel, pretty much. Do you think Pogba will score today, says Liam Halliwell. Pogba's a good point. I think Pogba's going to come good at some point, and surely today is the sort of game that would suit him to do that. But we'll see. He will come good at some point. At the end of the day, he's not a £90 million player. We paid him for that because if we'd offered what he was worth, 50 to 60, Real Madrid or Barcelona had gone, oh yeah, we'll have that. So we paid over the odds to get him. I think he's 2 weeks behind fitness-wise. I think he's also coming into a Premier League team. It's very difficult with him with Fellaini and Rooney, who are quite slow and static compared to... He really needs top quality players around him in that midfield. So it's difficult. It is difficult. But I'm sure he will come good. 100%. I don't know where Mad Mark is, but I just had to do something there. Mark Goldbridge, if we kept Louis Van Gaal, where do you think we'd finish? Which players come in and do go, we'd win something if Louis stayed for his final year? Shaka. I think that's probably a horrible question, Shaka. I don't like to think about Louis Van Gaal. I don't think we'd be doing any good. We don't think we'd have 9 points either from 4 games. So there we go. Scores for half time. Where's Mickey? He's injured. Players coming out. Martial to score. That's a good point for me to just hold on a minute. Let me just see if this is going to work. I want to make sure, and I know it won't work because I've not ticked it, but yeah, so the timer there up in the left, that will tell you when it's kicked off. It hasn't kicked off at the moment. Don't stress, I'm just testing it, and the second it kicks off we will get that going for you. Players coming out. Troy Deeney's carrying a baby. Is it his? Who knows? I don't want to cast aspersions, but probably is it? So get commenting, that's the main thing, because I am on my own today, and do give us your thoughts about what's going right and wrong with the game. I'm praying that we're going to get something positive from this game, because I dread to think what will happen if we lose. You know what? I'm going to be totally honest with you. If we lost the game 4-0 today, I would still be backing the manager, and I'll put that out there for you now. I personally don't underestimate the enormity of this job. I am starting to think now that there's a lot of players that just have this massive hangover from the Louis Van Gaal era, and maybe they will never come out of it, and maybe they will have to go. But I do think that that's where Jose's sort of suffering at the moment, in the fact that it's such a big job for him to try and get that sorted out. Come on, United, does it show the gameplay of this? Says plug-in. No, we can't show you the game, unfortunately we can't, but thanks Tommy Play Z. Kurt Pakos, why can't you show us the live match? Because it's illegal to stream Manchester United games live on YouTube, so we don't do that. We do a watch-along. So please, I know a lot of you ask about that, but there you go. If you're new to the United Stand, please like the video. It's nice to get 1,000 likes while we're doing these. It'd be great. And also subscribe to the channel. I think the button to do that is probably on your screen in the bottom right-hand corner. Please do subscribe, because the big thing about that is we do a lot of live content. Mainly it's around 8:30 of an evening and when the matches are on, but we do other stuff, and people will say, oh, how do we know? The only way you're going to know is if you subscribe to the channel. It is free, and it will give you a notification of when we're live. So please hit that subscribe button, please hit that like button, and if only for the fact that this show is going to be massively about you today, because I don't have a co-anchor with me, it's just me and you lot. So massively be reading your comments out. We do anyway, but loads. 3 in the middle can transfer. Okay. And also as well, I'm aware that other people do watch-alongs. I've been aware about that for a while. Please like and share the video. Please share the video on your social medias, whether it's Twitter, retweet our last one, or Facebook or Google Plus, or whatever you've got. Please share it, because this channel is all about you. It's grown off the United Stand army from a very, very small number, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. And I think also in the video description, if you haven't voted for us yet in the Football Blogging Awards, it is there. The links are there. Please just click them. It takes a few seconds, and vote for us, because that's at Old Trafford in November. And it looks like, unfortunately, we are heavily going to be up against 2 big Liverpool accounts, so it's going to be hard for us to win. We don't want a Liverpool account to win at Old Trafford, so please get into that video description and vote for us. It takes 1 click and a tweet to do it. Thank you very much. Michael Oliver is the referee, says Ali Riaz. Yes, that was my concern as well. Shaka's asking some good questions again. You're a bit like the lad who was on last time. Lee Polton, I've got the message. He hasn't tweeted me at all for the last few days, so I can't just chuck him on now. So that's his problem. Thanks, Mark, Mad Marcus. But it's a bit late, if you know what I mean. And we're off. The game's off. Oh God, we're off. and hopefully the time is up as well. Okay, brilliant. The game is kicked off. It's not 1-0 to Dean from Deeney. Let me get back. There we go. It has started, yes, Hanif, it has. And as typically always is the case, United are on the ball. Just looking, that looked like Rashford playing out on the left, which is interesting as to whether we're going to play, Martial on the right as well. Interesting. Very interesting start there, tactically spotting that. I know I spotted it, but one of you might have done as well. So Martial started on the right and Rashford has started on the left. Here we go, come on United, says Mad Marcus. Yes, 100% to that. Shane Lim, good point. We lost too many points to Minnows last year. We did. This is a difficult game. Even if we're on our game, you can't expect to go to teams in the Premier League anymore and just turn them over. Doesn't mean we won't do, but everyone's competitive and this will be difficult. But that shows Fellaini's worth there. It's a long throw in into the middle of the pitch and he wins it. Although I always thought Carrick was quite good in the air anyway, to be fair. I don't understand why Carrick's not playing. Aaron Dynamic, do you think Jose would still be here if RVP would still be here if Jose was in charge? I don't know, but Jose looks very relaxed today, which is good to see. Hopefully that's some confidence. We're a very big side now. I mean, Watford are as well, but we're a very big side with the likes of Bailey, Smalling. It was Smalling who got up on the end of that cross there. Obviously Fellaini, Zlatan, Pogba. So that's 5 very tall players in the team, and it's absolutely amazing that we're not quite in October yet, but if we get to November, it's nearly a year. November was the last time we scored from a corner. Bill Penguin wants to know scores for half-time answer. I'm going to go 1-0 United at half-time, and I think it will finish that. But if you want to put your scores up and also tell us where you're watching from, I forgot to do that. Always interested to know where you are watching from. Shane Higgs makes a good point that Smalling adds a bit of extra height in the midfield into the team for sure. We need to score from a corner, don't we? It's been way too long. There's Watford on the break here, but it's Shaw with a good sliding tackle and kicks it onto the Watford player. Get up, mate. It was a good tackle and it came off you last. Jog on. United need to win, says Jordan Curley. They certainly do. Joshua says my TV is faster than yours. Well, of course it is. We're on a live stream, mate. So I think you're probably... actually, I should change the time anyway because I'm not actually at that time. Even I'm slow there, so... There we go, that's right.
And hopefully that leads to him forcing his way.
Mad Marcus saying United looking comfortable. Well, it's only 3 minutes in, mate. Early days, but I know what you mean. Pogba, obviously with a typically bad touch there. But the one thing that we shouldn't be getting exploited with, we will miss Daley Blind's lovely little head down by Pogba there. And it's just over by Zlatan to Pogba, trying to get Martial in behind, who's got a very slick new cut, very tight to the head. But one thing we may miss is that Daley Blind composure from the back. But one thing we will gain is pace and power at the back. So, and as I said in the build-up to the game, Watford, Igala and Deeney are very quick and powerful players, and maybe that suits Smalling better. Rashford a bit wasteful there. He was a bit wasteful with his final ball against Feyenoord, actually, and that nearly got Luke Shaw in trouble, but Fellaini's mopped up and it's back with Bay and Smalling, who, if it can work, I think are a superb defensive partnership in the making. I love Daley Blind, but I just think if you want to win a title, he's not a title-winning centre-back. I think he's a brilliant squad player. I personally think his best position is left-back, but I think when you're looking at centre-back partnerships, Valencia nearly gets in. I don't have the concerns about Smalling and Bailey I do have when Blind plays, and I'm not criticising Blind. I really do like him, but I just prefer Smalling and Bailey. I think they've got more about them. They're strong, they're fast, I think they can really cause some problems. Do you think Everton could make top 4 this season? I think they've had a good start, but I'll be amazed if they make top 4. I think it's going to be really competitive for top 4. Unfortunately, Liverpool have had a really good start. You look at the fixtures they've had because they played all those away games, and they've been away to Arsenal, away to Chelsea, away to Spurs, and they're in touching distance. So their position is probably false because of the difficult games they've played. If they sort the home form out, they've got no European football. Liverpool could be well in the top 4 this year. Obviously, City will be. Arsenal never seem to drop out, and I would hope that we would be. But then we've forgotten Chelsea, Spurs. So I think there's 6 teams that are definitely going to be fighting for 4th. It's going to be so competitive, which again I think is another reason why the Europa League is a luxury and not a necessity, because we don't want to mess up the league. And I think the league will be competitive. Remember, Chelsea and Liverpool have no European football, so they're going to have all. People say Klopp's style is very physical, and they'll get a lot of injuries, but they're pretty much probably going to have a whole week off between every game, which is a massive, massive advantage. And as Shane says, he can't see Everton making the top 4, neither can I. But it's all United at the moment in a possessional sense. People saying the other night, it's just like Van Gaal. But it's not. There's far more, and I've been saying this since the very first friendly we had. That's Rooney with a nice switch. Dinky cross, Valencia taking too long. Put the cross in. He had loads of time to put the cross in, and he just takes too long. I've noticed that from Valencia lately. He's just not putting the cross in. He had a chance there to just put it in, and the thing is, I don't know whether it's a mind block or whatever, but he's got time to put a cross in there, and he refuses it. And the reality is, when you've got big players like Zlatan, just put it in. Just put it in, because he's already shown he can bully the best centre backs in the league. So just put the cross in, mate. Just put the cross in. Prince Vagata, Valencia not a good winger. Anthony thinks that Watford are bossing it. I think United are bossing it, to be fair, in a possessional sense. But this game, from Watford's point of view, doesn't really matter about possession. All they're going to be interested in is causing us problems on the break and using their pace on the break, which is exactly why I think Smalling played. And that's a good thing. Alex is just in there, messaged me, why is Marshall right wing over Rashford? Marshall's always been poor at right wing. It is interesting. I don't know what you lot are thinking. Get commenting and let us know about that. I personally think Martial is best as a left winger as well, but if he can, there's no reason he can't do it on the right. Fellaini doing a bit of shirt pulling there, but be harsh to get a penalty for that. And another long throw in which Fellaini wins, and he gives you that. He's given a foul against Zlatan there. So they've got another chance, Watford, to loft the ball into the box, but we shouldn't be conceding goals from this. And if anybody remembers what Jose was like in charge of Chelsea, they didn't concede many corners and crosses because it's one thing he prides himself on. Oh God, should have been 1-0 to Watford there. Cross came in, some lad on the back heads it across the face of goal, and I thought Deeney, with an open goal, it would have been if he could have got there. He's just stretching too much. Would have been very difficult from that angle to do it, but it's a chance. Small looks like Bailly and Pogba getting caught underneath it, unfortunately. And Watford probably should be 1-0 up. Probably should be 1-0 up, if I'm all honest. And in the last minute or so, Watford have sort of come more into this game. They're trying to exploit our right, which is exactly the right thing to do, because Valencia defensively isn't that sound. Here's Pogba with a little bit of an opportunity. I mean, it's like Jose said about Pogba. He's not going to be Messi or Ronaldo. That's not what he is. He's a midfielder. Another final ball by Rashford, not up to scratch. People just need to relax a bit, don't they, in the team? I don't know why they're feeling the pressure. You've got 9 points from 12. You lost pretty much a meaningless game in Feyenoord that you probably deserved to draw. Just relax. There's a lot of talent on this pitch. Relax. Play your natural games, and it will come. But I'm interested by the fact that Martial and Rashford are playing on the right and the left. Rashford is on the left. Maybe we'll swap them. Maybe we'll swap them round. Because I think Rashford's more... Oh, that's good. He's played on. He played on. That's a foul for sure. Well, a long lofted ball up by Watford. De Gea goes for it, sort of punches it out, and he's got a player on him and Smalling, and it's a crap ball out by Valencia. It gets lofted back in. Oh, it's small. It's not a foul, of course. Madness. I thought Watford player goes up with De Gea. He doesn't. He stands back, and it's a Gala. De Gea jumps over the top of Smalling, drops it right on the edge of the box to Agala. He's got an open goal, puts it wide. Should be, you could say it should be 2-0, but Smalling getting a bit of a problem there. I don't think Smalling does anything wrong. He gets the call from De Gea. He can head it out himself quite clearly, but he gets the call from De Gea. It's a mistake by De Gea. That it's not Smalling, to be honest. Smalling's basically gone like that because he's got the shout from De Gea, and De Gea's come to catch it. He hasn't caught it and dropped it. It should be 1-0, but it's not 1-0. Hopefully we can take it as a wake-up call. We sort of lost our way a bit in this game, and what's happening is final third, as we said. I thought that might have been a foul by Fellaini, but Michael Evers played on. And the way the Watford player's gone down holding his face, I hope there's not an elbow in there. But whether it is or it isn't, we're on the break and we've got Rashford on an overlap. Oh, final ball from Rashford again. He's awful. I love Marcus Rashford, by the way, but you can't not be critical. And his final ball has been poor in Feyenoord and poor again. I really hope he's not having a confidence crisis, because he's got everything in his locker to be superb. And again, his final ball breaks down. Fellaini's nipped in and got that. Rooney looking for his out ball to Valencia. And we've got a bit of an overlap now with Martial. Can he put a cross in? It's not a bad cross. Doesn't beat the first man for Watford. Got to be winning that second ball. The game it's a good game though. I don't know what people are thinking. Cab's in Thailand, but not one leader on the pitch. It's been like this for some time, said Lipsigdi. Would Vidal be a good option in midfield? Vidal's quick, gets in there, knows Pogba style of play. So Shaka Phillips, he would. We need that sort of player. They're just showing the incident back of Fellaini. He doesn't throw an elbow. I can't see why he's clutching his face. It's a body thing. But the game is quite fast paced, which I'm enjoying. It's not cagey. I think Watford probably following on from last week, fancying their chances. And nice little turn there by Fellaini. Finds Martial. Keeps it, loses it. I don't know what Valencia's doing there. Martial's clearly in trouble and Valencia runs on past him. And then we're getting exploited down the right. Hello from the USA, says Artan. David Rabine, is he just going to be talking? That's how Watchalong works. We read your comments out as well. Rashford useless, says GTF Mbalati. Tom Hadley being negative about Man United. It was a good chance for Agala. A player of his quality, or any quality, should be able to pass a ball into the goal from the edge of the penalty box. But he didn't. It remains 0-0. And as per usual with United, plenty of the ball, but not creating chances. That's been the problem for 3 years. I don't think that comes from the manager, because we're not. That's a good ball by Fellaini. It's a shame that Martial doesn't take it into his feet. I think Fellaini's had a really good start. You're not hearing things, I do. Jake Shorrock thinks United will win 2-1 with Rooney and Fellaini to score. I hope so. I hope so. Schoolboy Q, I'll throw this to you. All of you, he's saying that Rashford's overrated because he's English. I don't agree with that. I think Rashford's a fantastic player. MTI Gamers losing the plot. He says Fellaini equals a tall Paul Scholes. Tell you what though, another chance. Deeney getting ahead of Valencia, positionally terrible, and De Gea sorting it out. It's turning into not a great start, to be honest. Watford should be ahead. Missing Daily Blind, says GTF. I'm not sure that we're missing Daily Blind. Valencia is terrible, says Banana in the tailpipe. I like the name. The thing about Valencia is, I think people got a bit carried away because he set a few goals up in pre-season and the early games. But I've seen him in this game, and I saw him against Feyenoord as well, refusing to put the ball into the box when he's got time to do it. He takes too many touches. Defensively, he's not a right back. Scholes said it, we've been saying it for weeks, you've said it as well. His positional sense, like Deeney just comes on his blind side there, gets an easy header at goal, and De Gea makes a good save. Positionally, he's not a right back. But you know what? In all fairness, Darmian has either got a lack of confidence or he's just not going to make it. So who do you play at right back? We probably should have bought Fabinho, and for whatever reason, we couldn't do that deal. He's got the same agent as George Mendes. So why couldn't we get that deal done? Jose doesn't look very happy. Stood up and shouting on the touchline. He looked very relaxed before the game. Ian saying, how did Igala miss? He should have scored. Watford probably should be 1-0 up after 20 minutes. The fact that it's 0-0, we can take something from that. But what they're doing is they're getting a lot of free kicks. They're putting a lot of balls into the box, which is probably another reason why. Well, I think Fellaini was going to play today anyway, but he is an asset. Good interception by Valencia. Pogba, bad pass. I just don't want to see the heads dropping. And we've got to improve this performance, because Watford are a better team than Hull. We've got to win that ball for a start. But they're very cute, Hull. It's like there, Smalling wins it, but both strikers straight away realise they're not going to win it. So they drop 10 yards away from Smalling and they win the second ball. We're getting overrun in the midfield again as well. Max Newman, what's my opinion on Memphis? Well, he's on the bench, and that's probably where my opinion sort of summarises and ends, because he's not in the first team, so he's sort of irrelevant, and he's obviously not. Oh God, Rooney with another crap pass. I forgot Rooney was even playing, to be honest. We don't want the heads to drop though. Art Scarhan saying this is a make or break game. Playing very sloppy, says Lee Carman. Maran Fellaini's a ticking time bomb, says Ray08. I think he's one of the best players on the pitch at the moment. Bring Alex Hunter on, says Grimace the Great. Right, they've switched now. We've got Rashford on the right, Martial on the left, and Paul Cross. I think United's problem at the moment is it's very easy to be critical of the manager, but somebody said, is Pep still a fraud? Says the Hindigo. I don't change my mind. Yes, he's still a fraud for me. He's not won anything. Has he won the Premier League yet? I think some United fans seem to think that, and City fans think that you've already won the Premier League. We're 5 games in. Yes, Pep's still a fraud. And you know why he's a fraud? Because everything he's won that matters has been with Messi and the best team there's been in Barcelona for in the world, probably for the last decade. Rooney with a bit of space now. Good first time pass. Rashford's got getting at his fullback. He's been doubled up on. It's not a good cross, but it should be 1-0. Oh, it's side netting from Zlatan. I saw the net bulge on the side and I thought he'd put it in. He should score. It's good on the break though, and Rooney actually does well because he gets the ball off Zlatan. Zlatan really motors. Rooney gets it out of his feet. Rashford in the right wing position. It's a bad cross, but it deflects off a defender, and Zlatan's got to be scoring there. It falls to him on the left side of the 6-yard box, and it's into the side netting. Should be 1-0. Should be 1-0. Encouraging. That's what we need to do. Hit them on the bait. Hit them on the break, not the bait. Blin needs to play, says Amir. I disagree with that. We've not had a great start, but Watford are a big, physical, quick side. Smalling is better, and Rooney seems to have stepped it up a bit now, which is good to see. But Rashford's first touch. Rashford's suffering at the moment. I tell you what, he is. We all love him, but his game is off at the moment, and that's worrying. We don't need to buy, we need to replace Jose with a manager who can get a team playing football, says Trini Red Devil. Ooh, controversial, mate. I disagree. I don't know what anyone in the live comments thinks. Too early. Brenny Gutso wants Fellaini out, quickly followed by Rooney. Another sitter missed, says Fortune Forcefield. Thing is, though, you can't be critical about Zlatan because I bet he'll score in this game. Name me a forward that we've had at United in the last 5 years who, well, apart from Van Persie, let's go last 3 years, who scored regularly every game, and there hasn't been one since Van Persie. So Zlatan might miss some chances, and he has missed a few recently, but I bet he'll still score a goal today, and a goal a game's very good for a striker. Right, have we got the ball? We have. Martial, that's a terrible ball, passing that back to Shaw then when you've got space in front of you. I just think there's a lack of confidence in the United team. They've got to sort of play their way through that. That's a good ball by Pogba, switching it to Valencia. They need to be hurt. Watford should be in front. Let's show something. They're not in front. Let's be hurt. We're Manchester United, and let's respond. There's an overlap pass there. If the one time we need to play it to Valencia, and we're not doing it. But we are using the left a little bit more, which is good. And that left side should be one of the best left sides in Premier League football with Pogba, Shaw and Martial. They just need to get clicking. Rooney's coming very deep again. Wife will be happy. I'd still play Mata. Rashford needs to be up in this game. Pogba needs to take the bench and think how he is playing, says Kung Gaming. Should be 1-1. Yeah, probably should be 1-1. By the end of the season, we will look really threatening, says Andrew Jackson. I think we will do. Zlatan nearly in there. I think we will do, but the thing is, what position will we be in at the end of the season? The most important thing for United's season is what position will we be in when we click, which is why winning games at this stage, by however means, is brilliant, because we haven't clicked yet. So if we can grind out some results for when we do click. I mean, I keep saying it, Jose grinds out. He'll look at every game and go, we need these points, we need these points. And Watford away will be 3 points by hook or by crook, and hopefully we will get it. I'm sure Man City at home was a minimum of a point, hopefully win it, but losing wasn't there really an option. Michael Oliver gets in the way of a pass. Well done, you stupid twat. Sorry for the language. He's just an idiot. Does Rooney even know he's out there? Says Justin Timmerman. He had a couple of good touches for a couple of minutes, and then he reverted to form. Jose should resign. Trini Red Devil doesn't like him. The ref's against us. Right, we've got the ball in a decent position here. Valencia again taking too many touches, but he finds Rashford. Time to put a cross in. It's a good cross, and Zlatan's just a bit on the back foot. It was a good cross, and Zlatan acknowledges it. We won't click with Fellaini in the team, says Ravens Claude. we're going to have to click with Fellaini in the team, I think. A slightly better last few minutes, I would say. I mean, I always like to try and look at it from a tactical sense, and I think you can't... Oh, nearly. Trying to get Rashford in behind his fullback there. Oh, God. He's just flattened Martial. That's got to be a foul. Basically goes up for a header, and the Watford player I think they just smash heads. Unfortunately for Martial, it's probably right in the face. Just watching it back, it's quite nasty. Yeah, that will hurt. I don't think it'll be a foul. I think it'll be a drop ball. Hopefully he'll be all right. Concussion will be the key. Alex is making a good point. Rooney is playing as a centre midfielder, and Jose said he'd never play in there. I wonder with Rooney. I mean, it's beyond anything personal. I just think he's been a great servant to the club. I just think he's just not good enough anymore, and I just wonder that he's got. It's not looking good for Martial. I think he's definitely probably been... I don't know whether he's been knocked out, but I think he's probably going to be coming off because it is a head injury. They've sat him up, but it's all about concussion. Just trying to see if they're going to do the old... back with what I was saying about Rooney, is I think the club have this opinion of him that probably fans don't, and that is that he's some sort of irreplaceable, bigger than the club figure. And you can't tell me that Mata wouldn't be doing a better job at number 10, or Herrera wouldn't be doing a better job if we're playing a midfield 3. Porrick Crane's saying that Rooney's playing a bit better. Pogba needs the right partner. Hazib, straight comment after that, which is the truth. It's like Jose and I wasn't meant to be talking into my mic then. Might have got that a bit loud, but Jose and Rooney having a chat there. But Martial looks like he'll be okay. You probably have a black eye in the morning, mate. Fellaini with loads of time to do a pass, and he passed it to a Watford player. I actually thought... it's funny how I interpret things. I actually thought Fellaini started off quite well, but he seems to be getting a lot of stick from you lot. Do get commenting in there as to who you think's doing well and who's not doing well. Alex is saying that Herrera and Mickey needs to start. Well, I've said it a few times today. Mkhitaryan's injured, so that's not possible. Fellaini's just tried a 50-yard pass and it worked. Zlatan has flicked it on. Rashford not strong enough, and I think at the moment the problem with United for me is that whether it's luck, running the ball, or everything just seems to be going against us. Whether it's the 50-50 challenges, you're running against somebody and you get shoulder barged off, the passing, everything's stretched, every pass is laboured, slightly off, making the receiver have to work harder when it's not in the... a pass can be right into your stride. We're not making them sort of passes. It's forced. We just need to relax a bit. Martin Big Mac says Rooney's a legend. He needs to step back now. We love Wayne, but it's the youngsters' time. I think that's a really good point. Now, not everybody, certainly not me. Nobody's dissing what he's done. He's been an absolute, you could say legend for United. Many people do, but I just think the decline is so sharp that and his pass isn't. Every pass he's looking for at the moment seems to be the simple pass. Oh, Pogba hits the bar from 40 yards out. He had the dip. That's what Pogba is. That is what Pogba is. It was a great shot, and how we needed that to go in. Not many people in world football can do that. Oh God, Rooney. But yeah, not many people in world football can do that, and he's really unlucky. It was a great shot, and that's what you get with him. It's the ability that in a nothing position from 40 yards out, you don't close him down, he'll have a shot, bang, and it's really unlucky. Absolutely rattles the bar, dead central. Keeper's got no chance because it's got loads of dip on it, and unlucky. Free kick here on the right. Rooney should be able to put a decent cross in, doesn't. Again, Rooney's just... we were talking about Rooney, weren't we? Pog boom, says Jal Harrod. Has Pogba finally woke up? And Adrian Bell laughing at Rooney. Told you Pogba is better, more up front. A corner for United. Get praying, everybody. Can we finally score from a corner? It's highly unlikely, but at some point we will. Yeah, going back to Rooney very quickly though, it's his final ball is just is the problem, and he's taking the corner here. There's nobody on you. You should be able to do it. Oh, it was a decent effort, and he got into the front post, and Smalling maybe should have done a little bit better. Watching it back, Smalling charging at the front post. No one's with him. Free header. Probably should do better. Yeah, he should do better. Professional footballers should do better there. Typical Habib Gaming loves Fellaini. United are boring, says Sal Hill. I don't know. I think this game's been okay. I mean, we're fast approaching half time. I did say it'd be 1-0 to United at half time. It probably on the balance of play. Another foul given to Watford. They're picking up a lot of fouls. Which is slightly frustrating, but it's not been boring. I think it's unfair to say it's been boring. Have a look at what people are saying on Twitter. I mean, the key to this is just not to lose the second ball. They're going to drift it into around the penalty box. Oh no, they didn't. They went for something a bit different to exploit Valencia. Cross comes back in. I thought they were going to get a man on that then. Rashford clears, but it's only to a Watford player who's got loads of time to put a cross in. I mean, I don't know whether you lot notice this as viewers, but when you're watching the opposition, and he's not given a foul on Martial then. That's terrible defending. It's going to be 1-0. It is 1-0. Absolutely shocking from the referee. Shit from the referee. And it's Kabue again if you've got him in your fantasy football team, but it's irrelevant what you're thinking about this. It's absolutely irrelevant. I'm just watching this now. Oh, I don't know whether it was a foul. Yes, it was a foul. It was a foul. It was a clear foul. He just absolutely... He does take the ball, but he takes the player first. We're going to see it better now. Oh, I don't know. I'll go to the live comments. No, it's a foul. It is a foul. It was a foul. He kicks the player before he kicks the ball. It's a foul. You can't do that. Essentially it's like doing a tackle from behind. You can go in behind somebody and take the ball as well. It's a foul. That was a foul, and he's injured him. I hate Michael Oliver. He's an absolute prick. He's always been a prick. You know, remember when Joe Hart basically headbutted him and he was like, oh, can I have your autograph, Joe? And he didn't send him off. It's a bloody foul. It's a foul. He takes the player. It's a fucking foul. I'm sorry to swear, but it is a foul. I'm so bloody pissed off. Shocking. Well, it looks like it might be 1-0 at half time, but you know, Martial's had it every way. It's like he's been absolutely banged. But that's just shocking. Let's have a look. I want to see what a lot of you say. It was a good tackle, says Huthless Hobby Lawler. No way. He gets the ball. He kicks the player first. It's a foul. He kicks his arm. He kicks his leg. Doesn't matter. They scored. RP saying it's a good tackle. It's not a read up on the game. It's not a. He's giving so many soft fouls to Watford in this game, and that is a blatant foul that goes to a goal. He got it wrong. The FA will back him because he's the young golden boy of the FA. But the reality is, Michael Oliver is a crap referee. He's a consistently crap referee. He gets away with being a consistently crap referee, and that is a blatant foul where he kicks Martial's leg at speed before he gets the ball. It's a foul. You can't kick a player before you get the ball. I don't care whether he gets the ball, he kicks the player first. It's a foul. Read up on football. Definitely a foul. And Trini Timms is saying good tackle. I'm not going to argue with you, mate. Go and read up on football and what is a foul. It is a foul. He's looking straight at it, and the fact that the player is lying on the floor injured is a good indication that it's a bloody foul. You cannot take the ball and foul somebody to get it. If a player is on the floor injured, it's because they've been fouled. And the reality is, you can argue if you take the ball first and you follow through, oh, well, I took the ball first. It's still a bloody foul because it's reckless. It's a foul. It's like going, you know, if you take the ball first and you put your feet, your studs are showing, you take the ball first, but it's a foul. In this instance, he kicks the player first, then the ball. It's a foul. Should be a yellow card. Yeah, I'm looking at your comments, but they're flying in. But I'm just disgusted, absolutely disgusted. And I can't believe there's people saying, oh, it was a good tackle. I'm frustrated by it because it's a foul. There is no other way about it. And Michael Oliver is consistently an absolute joke. And he's a home banker in this one, I'm afraid. Watford probably should, I will balance it by saying Watford probably should be 1-0 up anyway on the balance of play. That is, you can't argue about that. But you can argue about bad decisions. And United just bloody leaderless though again. Rooney should be getting that. He has won it. Fellaini, it's just right. Rashford now with a bit of pace. Get down the ring. Don't be trying to put the cross in. Run at him. You've got the skills. Beaten. And everybody for a man is just playing pretty poor because there's like a lack of confidence. Bay's not imposing himself on this game much. Oh, finally! Oh, that is a foul from Michael Oliver. Well done with your little grin, you little cretin. Well, you know what? It's gone. It's gone. Mo Khan, it was a foul. They keep showing it back. It's a foul.
One makes contact with Martial's leg first, and it pretty much happens simultaneous. And I think we've got to give the benefit of it now to the referee in this case.
Howard Webb saying that it's a simultaneous connection between the player and the ball. Yeah, Howard, of course it's a simultaneous connection between the ball and his leg. When his leg is here and the ball is here, it hits his leg first. It's absolute shit. Robbie F, I've seen what Howard Webb said. Joke. Absolute joke. Poor refereeing. But we've got to rise to it. There's enough time in this game to rise to it. A draw is a bad result. We need to win the game. Carrick should have started instead of Fellaini. Good point from Alex and Ray. Beyond everything, it's just not good enough from United. I think Ashley Young's come on for Martial. Great. Oh, brilliant. Ashley Young comes on for Martial. Brilliant. Oh, we're definitely going to win now. I think we're in trouble, lads. And lasses. The Hobbit's foster kid. I mean, he's not going to do much, Ashley Young, I'm afraid. Crap cross. That's what he's going to do. I think we're in trouble. It's the 40th minute, says Rob Hudson. Calm down. I can't help it. I apologise. I do get passionate about United sometimes, and I think the angle I'm getting is that they're trying to say that Martial made the mistake because he's concussed. Zlatan's in here. Go on. Go on. Oh, it's a good tackle. Get up. Get up. Oh, what's he doing? It's just so laboured. So bloody laboured. It was an opportunity there, and it's gone missing. He was away. He was away. I think it was just a good recovery tackle. What is wrong with United side? What is wrong with it? You tell me. Because for me, there's just no cohesion. It's all very forced. The midfield has the same old problem in the midfield with Rooney and Fellaini. Just not. They're too slow and static. Rashford seems to be lacking confidence. I don't think Ashley Young's the answer. I think we're in trouble now. I do think we're in trouble. Joe Dar's saying it's a good tackle. You need to read up on the game. Joe, I don't need to read up on the game. I know the game fully well, mate. I think you need to go and read up. The impact on the player is before he hits the ball, it's a foul. And regardless of that, and that is a fact, if the impact on the player is after the ball and it's reckless, which it was, it's a foul anyway. But he fouls the player. He hits the player before he hits the ball. That is a foul, mate. And if you don't understand that, then you haven't been watching football for the last 20 years because FIFA changed it probably in the late 80s. Now, I've got to update the score. I don't like updating the score, but I've got to update it. Furious. Absolutely furious. And you know why I'm furious? Because this is different. This isn't Louis van Gaal. This isn't Louis van Gaal in charge. This is a manager I want in charge. And I want these players to perform better than they are. Gutted. Ellis Wood's always had his doubts about Mourinho. They're all coming out now. I don't think... Well, there's two ways you can look at it, really. You can look at it in one way and say the players aren't performing, which they're not. I mean, you can't account for the fact that Rashford and Rooney... well, you can Rooney because he's been consistently doing it. But you can't account for the fact that Rashford's final ball has been horrific today. And Rashford's one of our better players. So you can't blame the manager for that. That's reckless by Pogba. I thought he was going to give me a yellow card for that there. You can blame him for picking Fellaini and Rooney, though, because a lot of people have concerns about that lack of pace. And, you know, that picking Rooney's down to the manager. A lot of us have said he shouldn't play. He keeps picking him. Who knows if he has to pick him? Maybe it's part of his contract. Who knows? And I doubt we'll ever know that publicly. You know, Rooney should not be in the team. So you can blame the manager for that. But... for me, too many players just not performing. And you look at the bench, and I mean, I would have brought Memphis on for Martial. That's the substitution I would have made 100%. But he's brought Young on, who's a bit more of a grafter. Sam Tam, dude, focus, look at the screen. I am looking at the screen. If we go 2-0 down, I'm going to cry. You've got a good free kick position here. Shouldn't be beating De Gea. Somebody said that maybe De Gea should have been going with his hands instead of his feet, which I don't agree with. I think he's stretching with his foot, and he's very good with his foot. Oh, they're just dragging this out now. Take the bloody free kick and let's get on with the game, because it's going to be half time now. I'm so frustrated. Keeper saves it. But I don't know what you lot are thinking or are seeing, but me and Alex were saying before the game, and a few of you were saying it on the live comments box. You look at our bench, and what are the options? I think Key, who's going to be on the show tonight, had messaged Alex saying, I'm worried, because what are the options off the bench if we need to change this? Because we're already playing Rashford, we're already playing Martial, we're already playing Zlatan, and now we're chasing a game. What options have we got off the bench? You know, Herrera and Mata are quite static. Memphis obviously doesn't rate Memphis because he's not even brought Memphis on now. Final ball is just atrocious from United, and you can't blame the manager for that. It's consistent across the team. Every United player has been guilty about it. And you cannot blame the manager for that. You just can't. I think the players need to, I said this on Thursday night, the players need to take a massive look at themselves. Let's go back to Thursday night against Feyenoord. You play Schneidling, you play Darmian, you play Smalling, you play Rojo. You've not been playing at all this season. You're given an opportunity, you don't take it. Today, you know Watford are going to come at you. Last week in the first half, you know it's a derby and City are going to put a lot of effort in. Why aren't the players putting the effort in? It could be the biggest hangover, like I say, from Van Gaal. Maybe these players just don't have it. I know Jose had the summer, he made 4 signings and some of those signings are not producing the goods. But in fairness, Bay's been a revelation. Mkhitaryan just can't get fit. Zlatan is scoring a goal nearly every game. And yeah, Pogba's not up to it. But I don't think Pogba's anywhere near match fitness. And also, I don't think Pogba's helped by the fact that he's playing in a midfield with a number 10 who's on the decline and Fellaini who's good at winning ball in the air, but he's slow and he's not a creative player. He needs better than that. And I don't know why we brought Ashley Young on, because it's like playing a little boy. Watford are a big team of men, and we've got a little boy playing on the wing. He's going to get bullied. Attacks are too slow, says Sal. I knew our signings were overhyped, says HR. This has nothing to do with Van Gaal, Mark, says Trini Red Devil. I disagree. I think we had 2 years under a dictator who's probably imprinted shit all over their brains, because the players are just not up to it. Every pass we play is abysmal, although that's a decent switch. You've got to put the ball in, Valencia. You've got it on the right wing. By hook or by crook, get the cross in. Corner. We never score from corners, but it's going to be right before half time. Let's try and get something back. There's still actually about a minute left. Who scored? It was, I'll have to write that up as well. Who scored? It was not Rooney, it was Capoue. Corner comes in, free kick given to, you've guessed it, Watford. George Andrews says his Pogba still on. Well, he hit the bar. That could have been a goal. Zlatan should have scored. Watford have had chances as well. A balance of play, probably deserved to be in front, but we could have had 2 goals. The issue is we're getting bossed in the midfield as per usual. Oh, Rashford's in. Good shot. Oh, over the bar. Over the bar. He got in. I don't know how far away he got, how close he got to it, but it's actually a good pass by Pogba. Gets him in. Gets a bit of luck. It's wild. I'm worried. I'm worried, fans. I'm worried. United stand really worried because as it's half time now. I mean, give us your thoughts. I'm worried because I really do back this manager. I think he's the right manager, but I just know the sort of crap he's going to start to have to put up with now, where people are just going to jump on him, whether it's the press, hopefully not too many Manchester United fans. But it's abundantly clear to me that the issue with Manchester United isn't really the referee. It isn't really, well, the referee is the issue today, unfortunately, and I hate blaming referees. I refused to blame Clattenburg last week because I think you make your own luck, and we've got time to make our own luck now. But Sagada's saying he's worried. I'm worried because as I keep saying, I blame Jose for picking Rooney because I think that is an ongoing issue that we just don't seem to be able to get past. But you can't blame the manager for the fact that the players are just, their final ball is atrocious, and I include Rashford in that. His final ball's been bad. We know Rooney's final ball's bad, it always is. Pogba's not been that great. Martial was just getting beat up, really. It was never a goal. Never should have been a goal. It was a foul. I can't believe United fans are saying it was a fair tackle. Read up on the game. He kicks the player before the ball, and we will be listening to what they've got to say about that at half-time, because I'll be interested to see. I wouldn't be surprised if Scholes comes down negative against United, because he seems to have an agenda that he doesn't seem to like the current setup again. But every day of the week, that's a foul, and it's a shocking decision by the referee. But having said that, we're not making enough chances. The final ball is atrocious, and I'm blaming the players now. I didn't really blame the players that much under Van Gaal, because he was a dictator and he was a moron. But I think there's so many players left from last season who are just not stepping up to the plate. And I'm talking about Feyenoord as well. Schneiderlin didn't do enough. I think we've got Callum coming on in a minute. Just not good enough. Not good enough from the players. And what was he supposed to do? Come in and sell 11 players because he probably needed to, and sign a whole new team? You just don't do that realistically. It's not FIFA. He's had to retain some players. I think he was wrong to retain some. But Valencia played bad, said Helen. I think Valencia defensively is shocking, but I've said that for a long time. But I think the problem with Valencia now is he's reverting to type where in the pre-season and the early games he was creating chances. He doesn't put the ball into the box quick enough. He takes a touch, and it's slow and it's lethargic, and this is what we had under Van Gaal. Rooney's favourite ball is to Valencia, and Valencia likes to piss about with it instead of putting it into the box, and he's easy to defend against. We don't use the left side enough. I'm concerned we've brought Ashley Young on because he'll get bullied in a game like this. That midfield is just a problem. It's a massive problem. I don't think Fellaini played particularly bad, but what Fellaini doesn't give you is any dynamic play from that defensive midfield position. He doesn't give you a 30-yard quick pass to feet like Carrick will do forward. It's always going to be a boring side pass or 5 metres, and it's easy to read. And you got Rooney, who can barely control a ball, barely pass a ball. So you can have a go at Pogba because he's a world record signing, but that midfield is the problem, and it keeps being the problem. Hopefully we get Callum on here.
Hello.
Hi Callum, how you doing?
I don't know how I'm doing, mate. That was so unimpressive. I don't even know how to feel. Yeah, I'm happy to be on, I guess. Just coming on for the half-time sort of bit.
What was your thought on the? I mean, I want to grab your thought. What was your thought on the foul? Well, I've just said what I think, but a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it was a good tackle."
No, it's not a good tackle. No, I've put a picture on my Twitter. If you don't follow me on my Twitter, it's at @ManUnited_news. You can clearly see as the player comes in, he takes Martial out first. Now, in the rule book, it says that if you get the man before you get the ball, it's a foul. So if you're going to call it a good foul, then it's like me saying, right, I'm going to stud you in the back of the leg, but if I get a touch on the ball, then that means it's a good challenge. No, it's a complete foul. I don't know why the referee doesn't give it. Here in Australia, we've got the commentator. I think he's a City fan. He's shouting, "Oh, it's a great foul," and all this BS. No, it's not a foul. I mean, no, it is a foul. Sorry.
I'm interested to see what we'll keep an eye on that, because I'm interested to see what they're going to say at half time. And I know Scholes is very anti-United at the moment, so he'll probably say it's a good tackle. But Howard Webb came on apparently, and he said, "Oh, it was a good tackle." But I don't understand what people. There's no black and white about this. He kicks the player before he kicks the ball. That is a foul. And even if you take the ball first and then foul the player, that's still a foul because it's reckless. You can't do that either anymore. So I think people are getting lost thinking if you take the ball first and then foul them, it's not a foul. It would be. But in this instance, he takes the player, then the ball. That is 100% a foul anyway. So it's a foul. I don't care what anybody says. But beyond that, there are clearly problems with the United side anyway. I think that is fair to say. Where's it going wrong for you?
Where isn't it? Where is it going right, to be honest? There's no movement at all throughout the team. I can see that they're sort of slow. They're looking to build it up. It's like a Van Gaal team, to be honest. It doesn't look like a Jose Mourinho team, which we've been used to seeing. Yeah, it just seems so slow. It seems like when Rashford gets the ball, he's looking up and he's going, right, where's the players? And you've got Rooney sitting back in centre midfield. We've got Pogba. Don't know what Pogba's doing in a minute. There's no movement. There's no sort of injection of pace. There's no sort of let's get up and go at them. There's a lot that needs sorting in that first half. It was a poor first half, I do say so myself. I mean, it was like watching United last season. It's just painful. It's so painful when you see United playing this poorly. It's like, oh, come on. Like, we were given so much at the start of the season. We came into the City game, we were like, yeah, go on, we'll have them. We'll take them. Now we're at Watford 3 games later and we're like, oh, God, we're back to old times. Just, no, I don't like it at all.
I think I'm just listening. I'm trying to listen to what they're going to say about the foul because I don't really care what McManaman's got to say, but I do want to see what Scholes's got to say. I mean, as I said there, I don't think you could argue with the fact that they are ahead, Watford. I mean, Agala effectively missed an open goal. A lot of people want to blame Smalling for that. Smalling's actually heard the shout. Well, it doesn't look like he did. It's a mistake between the pair of them, to be honest. And De Gea probably shouldn't be in that position. He's not. There's no reason for him to do that. But it is what it is. We've had a good couple of chances. I know Pogba's would have been a worldie if he'd scored it. Zlatan should have done a lot better with his. But on the balance of play, Watford have been the better side because yet again we are being bullied, Callum. And I can't understand that. What changes would you make?
I think the Martial one had to be made. I don't know. It's not like I can really pick out a collective player. I think they've all been pretty collectively quiet. I don't think that. I don't know. I think we need an injection of that movement. We need an injection of pace. And if I'm being perfectly honest, a player like Hernandez would be perfect right now. Sort of get that movement in there, get the players. Just make space because it doesn't look like we're making space. We're just sitting around waiting for the ball to come to our feet. It's so disappointing to come here and see this. I mean, Watford we should be probably 2 or 3 down. We shouldn't be 1-0 down. The guy who did a Torres 2011 by missing an open goal, and
I'm just listening to. Sorry to interrupt. I'm just listening to what Howard Webb's saying. He just gets a toe on the ball before he fouls the player. He's come through him 2-footed through the back of him. You stupid bold twat. I mean. It's a foul every day of the week. I'd never even seen the second foot. He comes through the back of him effectively. It should be a bloody yellow card.
I was just going to see. Can you guys see that on my camera there? Look, that's the challenge. Look, that's where the impact happens. Does he get the ball first? No. If you can't see it clearly, it's on my Twitter, but you can clearly see by that picture there that he does not get the ball first in no circumstance whatsoever.
Oh, McManaman. You want to hear McManaman? He's saying, if you hit the ball first but take your man out, that's fine. It's not a foul. I mean, he's clearly not read the FIFA rulebook. It's a bloody foul. I just don't... I'm absolutely baffled by the idiocy of what people are saying. He takes the man out. It's a foul. I mean, Scholes's not said anything yet. I'm sort of waiting for him to say something.
Yeah.
That's it. They've moved on from it. So... The general consensus from this is the brilliance you get with ex-professionals, I must just say, that they're saying it's not a foul. I'm just baffled by the crap that we have to pay for.
That's a foul walk going on.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a friend walking past.
What's he say?
He said it was a foul all day long as well.
Yeah, I just think it's absolutely... ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous that they are allowed to put that on TV. That is excusable when they are absolutely 100% wrong. I don't want to dwell on it because we probably should be losing 1-0. I agree with that, but to brush over it, an ex-referee and an ex-Liverpool bitter twat is understandable, but. Nobody's going to make me change my mind. And I actually think it's a worse tackle now than I've actually seen live because I hadn't seen that his right foot actually comes in behind him as well. It's effectively 2-footed. Ridiculous decision. But how do we sort the wrongs and how do we change the wrongs to the rights in the second half, Callum? Because I was saying Ashley Young comes on. I feel less confident now than I did.
Yeah, I don't think Ashley Young was the right move. I think the right move was probably Memphis or someone like that. We need to bring someone on with pace, and Ashley Young's too defensive in my mind. He's not as attacking as he was a couple of years ago. How would you change it? Before the goal came along, we actually had a good 10-minute, 20-minute spell where we just went at them. The problem now is Watford are going to want to hold on to this lead. They're not going to want to come out of their shell. So we need to get out and go out and just make that. We need to move around, because when you are stagnant and you're going at a team who are just sitting back, then of course they're going to be predictable. They're just going to shift left to right, shift left to right. It's simplistic, but we need to go out and an injection of pace, run at players, scare them. I mean, there was chances in that first half which we can see, and we can break them down pretty easily. But, you know, there needs to be a real change of momentum, and Jose Mourinho's got to go in and go at them in that half-time dressing room, because, you know, at this point in time, it looks like it's going to be another poor performance, another performance where we're sitting around going, what the is going on here? You know, because it's like, come on. I mean, you're sitting there like, what? Just need to sort this needs to be sorted out just completely, because I just don't know what I'm seeing at the minute. I mean, a couple of games ago, we were sitting there like, you know, we're sitting here on Pretty Street looking all great and looking all pretty, and now we're sitting back here a couple of games later like, what is going on? We just need to regain some confidence, regain some clarity when we're passing. We need to gain some composure. It needs to be more compact, more composed, more movement, and that's how we need to change it.
Would you make any subs?
I was at dinner, so I haven't actually seen who's on the sub bench.
So you've got obviously you've got Young from Martial. So we've got Herrera. Some people think he should have started anyway. You've got Herrera, Mata, Carrick, Memphis, and Blind. So it's quite a slow bench. I mean, Memphis is the spark, but I mean, some people have said that maybe we made a mistake not signing another striker, because Rashford's on the pitch. Obviously, he can go up front, but you know, there's no striker to come on.
Exactly. I mean, you can't really class Rooney as a striker anymore because he's like on the end of his career. Memphis can play striker, and he scored against Watford last season. But you know, I don't think he's the right move. I think the only move you can really make is Herrera. He's the one that will unlock games and really give that injection of movement, injection of composure that we need. So bring on Herrera. Bring on. People are saying bring on Mata. I don't think we should bring on Mata, because only if he's going to be in that number 10 role and go off for Rooney. That's the only reason I can see putting Mata on, because you need that pace of Rashford and probably Young, who's a little bit quicker than Mata, and the wings. So bring on Herrera for Fellaini, 100%. You know, you don't need Fellaini at this point now. We're not playing a long ball game. We're not playing a game where we need to control the game. We need to play in a game where we need that injection of pace, injection of movement to break this team down. And Herrera's the man to do it. He's got the key.
They're going to sit back and hit us on the break, that's for sure. Now 1-0 obviously will do them. It sort of goes back to what we were saying before the game, that Herrera deserved to start. He was never going to start because he was always going to play Fellaini. Rooney's never going to get dropped, and you're not going to drop Pogba. So Herrera was unfortunate, but I think based on his performance in the second half of the derby last week, Herrera should have been playing this game. I think he's got to get him on. With that midfield lacks dynamism, it lacks pace, it lacks bite. I think Herrera's got to come on. The trouble is now we've had to waste a sub to bring Ashley Young on. I personally would be looking at Mata at number 10 and Rooney off, and I'd be looking at Herrera on and Fellaini off. I'd also like to probably bring Carrick on to bring a bit of composure to the midfield, because whilst Fellaini's not been too bad in the way he's trying, my issue with Fellaini is he can't do 5-10 yard passes. He can do that, he can't do anything bigger. At least Carrick might be able to play a 50-yard pass forwards or something like that. I just don't know. I don't know.
Exactly. We're in that stage now where it's like, well, the bench isn't as strong as like what we'd thought it would be. So it's like, what can you really do to step it up? What can you really do to make it add that sort of, right, let's go for the second half. Probably do need Carrick in there, but we need Carrick just to add the composure that we need. But at the minute, I think we need Herrera, because I think he's the one that's got the key to unlock the door, as I've said before.
All right, Callum, it's about to kick off. Thanks for joining us. I know you've got your delay there, haven't you? But thanks for joining us at half time, and hopefully we'll see you again very soon. Just to finish, Gary Lineker's tweeted out, doesn't matter if you get a touch on the ball, if you smash through the leg of the man in possession to get that touch. Spot on. Gary clearly understands the game of football, as do I, as does Callum. Baffled by people who don't, but it was a foul. Whether Watford deserved to be in front or not, it was a foul. Thanks, Callum. I'll speak to you soon, pal.
See you soon.
And for those who are left behind with me, let me just say this to you. It is the United Stand. please do drop us a like on the video, but also subscribe to the channel. It's in the bottom right hand corner. It is free. We are live tonight at 8:30 with Sunday Night Live every week. It's 4 or 5 United fans and the live comments box. If we lose this, it's going to go off like a bottle of pop. If you subscribe to the channel, it's free, like I say, and you'll get a notification of every live stream we do, because people always say, oh, when are you live? We do tell you, but people forget. If you're subscribed, you'll get the notification of every time we go live. And if you want to join in, you can join in. But hopefully we can turn this around. How are we going to turn it around? We've not made any substitutions yet, which is disappointing. I think Herrera should have been coming on straight away. But as per usual, we're sticking with the Fellaini and Rooney thing. And I love Jose. I really want it to work, and I trust him. I want it to work, and I'm frustrated. But the longer he sticks with Rooney and Fellaini in the midfield, the longer we're going to suffer. I hope they prove me wrong. Right, Young's in with a bit of space here. It's just outside the penalty spot. Cross comes in. There's nobody in the box because Zlatan decided to go deep, and he shoots wide, and it's a goal kick. I'm worried. I am worried. Somebody's on about United getting relegated. We do realise we have got 9 points already. We're not going to get bloody relegated. It's just I want us to be challenging for the title, and a loss today would be hard. Jason Garbutt's likes the video but dislikes the match. Welcome. Yeah, it's a little bit like that. Somebody just reminded me that I need to start the timer for the second half, which I do. You're right. It's never easy being a United fan. But I am going to be totally honest and say that a draw is not good enough. A draw isn't good enough. Ashley Young, I find his crossing abysmal as well. And the thing is, this never should be happening with the height we've got in our team. Pogba, Smalling, Zlatan, Fellaini, Bailly. But we're still crap at corners. And why are we bad at corners? It must come down to delivery, because we've got big enough players. We've definitely got players big enough to score goals, but the delivery is just not good enough. I mean, it's just a looping cross there by Rooney. It's absolutely atrocious. And Watford are on the attack. Good tackle by Pogba. He seems to have come out with a little bit more about in this second half. Like Jose said, he's not a Messi. Rooney, drifter across, Zlatan. Bang! Hit it first time. Hits the Watford player on the head, unfortunately, from Young. Fellaini loses it. Handball as well. He's going to have to make a call. He's going to have to take Fellaini or Rooney off, or we're not going to get anything out of this game, I'm afraid. Doesn't matter how tall you are. Somebody's just saying there in the live comments about corners. It doesn't matter. You can have the best headers of the ball in world football, and in Zlatan we probably have. But if you can't put a cross in, you don't score. It's just not going right for everybody. I can see a Zlatan hate coming forward very soon, but the Kojo 77 says Ibra WTF. I'm not dabbing. That's not going to make us score a goal, is it? Jan Mat's coming off for Watford. He was the one who had the head impact with Martial, who obviously we lost in the first half already. Enzo, I'm not going to dab, and I'll put you in a timeout if you keep doing that. If we win, we will win nothing if he keeps Rooney playing all the time, says Dave Miller. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Timer has started. It's in the top left-hand corner. It is depressing. Joshua says Zlatan is crap. As long as he keeps scoring a goal a game, mate, I disagree. And to be honest, we're not creating chances, and when you're feeding on scraps, you're not going to get a full meal. You're always going to be inadequate. We're not creating enough chances. And that's a continuation from last year, which, to be fair, under Van Gaal, we didn't create many chances because there wasn't much intent. I think there's intent in this team, there's just not ability. I really didn't think we would be having this, this season. Really disappointing. And, I think Jose said a couple of things when he had that first press conference. Rooney will never be a midfielder, and I don't like square pegs in round holes. And unfortunately, both have not materialised for whatever reason. Rooney is still playing as a centre midfielder. Valencia is still playing at a right back, and he's not a right back. I'm not going to turn on the manager though. I know some of you are. I'm not going to do it. I'm fed up of the players, and I really would like to get to the bottom of why Wayne Rooney has to play every week. I think that I've always laughed at the conspiracy that it's in his contract, but how does he do it? How can it happen? Fellaini losing the ball again. It's just an absolute circus act. Well, it's Watford doing the pressing again, and we're already 7 minutes in, and it needs to be better. It needs to be a lot better. Whatever way you dress it up, we're just not doing enough. And I think actually we've probably wasted this start. I mean, I can see Mata warming up there. We've probably wasted this half of 10 minutes doing something that we probably shouldn't have even started the game doing, to be fair. But it's inevitable what's going to happen. We're going to have to make substitutions. That's a good ball by Shaw. Rooney will do well to keep it in because he's just... It's all right getting upset, Jose, and looking across at Luke Shaw, but the man who doesn't control this is somebody, because it's a bit of a wayward pass, but his first touch should keep it in, and he's just not quick anymore. Mkhitaryan, I know he's not fit, but he'd almost be taking that in his stride. The way this is going, folks, we're going to be celebrating a late goal to snatch a draw, and it isn't good enough. Watford. The horrible thing is that I'm not saying Watford are bad, but if they were playing somebody like Arsenal or City or Liverpool, they'd be getting really pressed, and you're not going to beat Luke Shaw for pace. They'd be getting really pressed, and they'd be getting a lot of chances created against them. We're not doing that because there's just the player's just not good enough. We were losing so many second balls. Right, Pogba's got a bit of space now. Rooney seems to have gone out to the right. I don't know what formation we are playing. If somebody can tell me now, Rooney's gone to the right wing. I mean, we're just forcing him into the team. He's been ineffective in the midfield, so we're now putting him out on the right wing. We've got Ashley Young playing central. Oh, I do not know what we're doing. I don't know. Answers on a postcard. CDM doesn't enjoy football, not even as a neutral. There was a good comment there, I think, picking up on what I'd said about Arsenal and City and why they'd be doing better, simply because they've got midfields that control the games and we don't. Anyone's drop Rooney? That's the most probably obvious thing to do in world football, but it won't happen. Manchester United fans says Jose's got no clue. FFS exclamation mark. I tell you what, I think we're getting to that point. Even if we scrape to win today, which doesn't look likely, it's going to go off on the Sunday night show tonight. Joseph saying Moose lost the plot. I think there's just a fundamental problem with Manchester United for the last 3 years, and one word explains it: Rooney. I can't understand why he plays, but nobody will drop him. Everybody, every manager. It's 3 managers now. And even all the players, oh, he's a top bloke, he's a great influencer in the dressing room. Well, he does sod all on the pitch. I mean, he gets the ball, he can't even see there's a Watford player. And he just bounces. That bit of play there, sub him, take him off. He gets a simple pass, he loses it, he then tries to fight back, and gets bounced onto the floor. That is it in a bottle. Take him off and don't pick him anymore. That's the captain of our team, not able to control the ball and getting pushed off the ball like a little girl. Take him off. Take him off, and you know what? He might actually take it as a big kick up the backside and improve. But picking him every week is just doing us no good. Take him off the pitch. And why does Jose pick, and this is another conspiracy, why does Rooney play 90 minutes every game? Even in the Euros for England, where he probably hasn't got a contract that he has to play every game, he was getting taken off after 70 minutes because he was blowing out his arse. Yet for United, he never gets taken off after 70 minutes. If he doesn't take him off in this game, then I know we all laugh at Alex and his conspiracy theory that Rooney has to play every game. The camera's focusing, even the BT Sports camera is focusing in on him because he is abundantly clear he is crap and he needs to come off. He needs to come off right now. It's a corner to Watford. I mean, for a tall team, we're not winning many crosses either. I mean, I will say that. Oh, God. Watford are just controlling the game. He has got to make substitutions now. I'm looking intently every time we go past. There is a substitution. It will be under Herrera. If he doesn't take Wayne Rooney off, and it's Rashford, and Mata's coming on, sorry. If he doesn't take Wayne Rooney off, and it's Rashford he takes off, forget it. Forget it. We will never do anything this season. At second best, it's got to be Fellaini or Rooney. If it's not one of those two, forget it. Oh, again, another shocking pass by Rooney. Get him off! He's trying to pass it to Pogba there. He passes it to a Watford player with a suicide pass. And he's under no pressure and it's a 5-yard pass. He can't make it. It is the most blatant, obvious thing I've ever seen that he is he's finished. As far as this game goes, he is finished. He needs to come off the pitch. Well, it's the moment of truth. It has to be Rooney. The cameras are on him. It's got to be Rooney. I'm waiting with bated breath here. Who's off? Oh, for God's sake. Valencia. Valencia's come on for Mata. Yes! 1-1! Rashford! Get in! Get in! Get in! Come on! I don't care how we do it. I don't care how we do it. Get in! Come on! So it's Zlatan. I was just about to tweet something about Rooney. It's Zlatan with a 1-2 with Rashford, and then the cross comes in. He misses the header, it hits a Watford player, and he scores. Good, good. Totally against the run of play. Don't give a damn. It is 1-1. Woo! Come on. Come on. At least I can feel a little bit, and we can all start to stop with the Rooney hate for a bit. I mean, he has been absolutely atrocious. I don't know how he stays on the pitch, really, but if we can get something out of this game, if we can just get something out of this game, please, we'll live again. We'll go again. But I don't want to dwell on the negative because we're back in this game. There's half an hour to go. Let's go and get 3 points. But it's. I mean, it's probably one of the. Let's just hope, if he scores the winner, fantastic. It's one of the worst performances I've actually ever seen from Wayne Rooney today. But maybe everyone can lift themselves a bit now, take a bit of confidence. But realistically, take Rooney on, get Herrera off, and take Rooney off, get Herrera on, and we can win this. It's the obvious substitution. Just do it. Please do it. I get what Rooney lovers will say. If he wins us this game, then they'll say, "Wow, he won us the game." But have you ever thought? Just imagine, like if you've got, I don't know, a crap car, and it does the job, but it's a crap car. Have you ever thought what it would be like to have a Ferrari or something like that on your drive? And that's the problem United have at the moment. It's like, Rooney might provide a late assist, but it doesn't excuse the 87 minutes of absolute dross. And just imagine what it would be like if we swapped him out for somebody who can play. We would improve as a team. He's playing number 10. Number 10 is that position that everything around it, in an attacking sense, builds off. And if he's atrocious, I mean, we get back. I don't know why anyone's criticising Zlatan, because we get back into this game because of Zlatan. So, but we are playing with a bit more intent now. Well done, Zlatan. I mean, Zlatan's up for it. He's a winner. And then we get a foul. He's a winner. Zlatan is a winner. And those people who moan about Rooney breaking the goal record, I tell you what, if we keep this Rashford in the team, don't worry, in 10 years' time, a proper player will break the Man United record, somebody who's come through the youth, so don't worry about that. I mean, this is the problem. Every set piece we get, Mata's there to take it. No, I'll take it. Remember, it's in my contract. I've got to take it. You can guess who I'm on about. Bloody Rooney. And I pray to God he puts a decent cross in and we get a goal, because I want it to work for Jose. But I have to be honest, unless there is, and we say it every week, unless there is a massive improvement in Rooney's game, then how are we going to beat the decent teams? I mean, this is Watford. Pogba's got 2 players on him there. I don't think Pogba's been very good, I must be honest. Well, it's game on. I wouldn't put Watford coming back into this game, by the way. You know, it's the goal we got. Well, you could argue whether it was deserved or not. I don't care. It's a goal, but we're certainly not bossing things, and Watford might feel quite hard done by. Love from Malaysia, says Ho John Wang. There's not going to be a dab, so you can keep doing them, but you're probably going to get deleted. So, just a warning, Mad Marcus is on there as the moderator. Man United Salford Reds basically saying Rooney needs to get lost. I will be talking about this tonight at 8:30, and I'm sure I'll be talking about it on my match reaction, because unless he, in the next 25 minutes, he turns into Messi and scores a hat-trick or something, it's been an absolute shocking performance, and regardless of what happens now, he shouldn't be on the pitch. Typical Ashley Young there, beats his man but doesn't realise it, so has to do it again. I think Ashley Young shot it as well. I really do. United man saying get Mourinho out, he hasn't got a clue. I mean, our only hope is really you got the likes of Marcus Rashford on the pitch, who, out of everybody, and probably Zlatan as well. That was nearly a good ball by Rooney to Mata. I don't know. I can't. You know, you can't tell what's going to happen in a game. What's that? Oh, that was wild by Bailly. Cheese Dominic is watching from Sydney. How many likes have we got? 697. You know, as much as it's been painful, hopefully you are enjoying the watch along. So please do drop us a like while waiting for this goal kick to be taken. See if we can get over 1,000 likes on the video. That would be brilliant. We don't do that very often, but you've been a massive part of it today. Normally I have a guest. Could only get Callum on at half time. So it's been massively about me and you lot today. So it's your show as much as mine today. So please do drop us a like. And if you are new to the United Stand, just click the subscribe button, which is in the bottom right corner of your screen. It's free. And the great thing about that is we do have daily content, but it will send you a notification every time we're live. Rooney's got a bit of space in the right midfield here. Can he find a cross? It's behind Zlatan. And then his pass is... This is the trouble with United. Every pass virtually from every player has been off. But we are on the front foot a bit now. I mean, maybe Watford are a little bit tired. I don't know. Sure, Mata's got a bit of space here. It's a bad pass. He obviously... I just don't know. I'm going back to Rooney again now. I don't know. He obviously can't... I said it a few minutes ago, didn't I? He obviously can't sub him before a certain time. It seems like that can't be right. It's ridiculous, but... There's absolutely no reason to keep him on the pitch. It's an awful performance that's basically making you play with 10 men. And you could have Herrera on, who we know is a better passer of the ball than Rooney. He's quicker than Rooney. He's fresh as well. It's such an obvious substitution to make, but he won't make it. And every manager we've had at the club won't make it. And I'm baffled by it. I refuse to believe that it's in his contract. But as I say, even Roy Hodgson used to take Rooney off on the 70-minute mark during the Euros because he just doesn't have the legs anymore. But I can't think of any occasions when Rooney gets subbed off. He always plays the whole game for United. We are pressing a little bit more. mean, Rooney's playing as a bloody centre midfielder. Oh, it's just shocking. Absolutely shocking. I think this game, whatever happens, well, if it finishes a draw or a loss, I think it will come down to the fact, you know, what could have happened if we'd actually taken off the players that we should have taken off. I mean, for me, we've only got one substitute left. It's a shame we haven't got two, because I think the Mata for Valencia substitution didn't need to happen. I would have took Fellaini off for Carrick, and I would have took Rooney off for either Mata or Herrera. The Valencia one, odd. But Triple Skills is watching from China. Still 20 minutes, folks. There's still 20 minutes. Come on, United, says Antonio Melchi. Totally agree with that. Bit of positivity. Hopefully we can get back in it. But as I keep saying, you know, Watford aren't out of this game just because we've got the back level. They're not. Two players going for the same ball there. De Gea's got to catch this. Doesn't. The whole game, everybody in the team has had their moments today, you know. It's just a weird performance. I mean, I know there's 20 minutes to go, but I think you know, I know Rashford scored, and part of me thinks I'd probably give him as our man of the match for that. But his final ball's been atrocious as well. I mean, what's that from Rooney? He's just blasting it into somebody. Take him off, for the love of God, take him off. It's baffling. Right, Rooney's got about 50 yards around him now. He's surely going to find a decent pass. No! God, I'm ready. You know, if there's a cliff, I'm jumping off it. I don't know what you lot are thinking at home. I am absolutely stunned. I'm stunned. Manchester United fans, he said, "What the fuck is Rooney doing?" He said, "What the?" It's not even like Rooney hate. It's just so clear. It's so clear. He needs to be subbed, and there's no prospect of it. There is nobody warming up. There's no leadership on the pitch. You know, Pogba's losing his temper there. And you see, how can you lead a team? How can the team have a leader when that leader can't even play football? That's the point. Aaron Hemmings, the worst I've ever seen Rooney play. Terry Crossanger, has he signed for Watford? Needs to be sold. KJ called him. Tech Plus says he needs to take off his Manchester United shirt. Shawaz says you're going to have a heart attack if you're not careful. I've never been so frustrated by a performance. Ewan says he'll probably score the winner. He probably will do, but I hope he does. But what I would say about that is that imagine what, you know, if we get a last-minute lucky winner off Rooney, I'll be ecstatic because I want us to win this game. It's heading the same way as Hull, isn't it? And I will be really happy. But it's what could have happened if we'd taken him off half an hour ago. I firmly believe it couldn't be any worse, and we might have created more. Luke Shaw's injured now. He's up. Right, Zlatan. It's a free kick. I think, you know what, Zlatan, just shove that useless over prey. You know, whatever. I'm not going to get vindictive. He's just crap. Rooney, don't hang around the ball when Zlatan's near it like you know what you're doing. It's into the wall. Ashley Young, overhit cross, into the keeper's hands. Ashley Young's been crap as well, I must say. Can you put the camera on your TV? I'd love to, Myron. I'd love to, but we can't. I'm just going to go to Twitter because I put something out about Rooney and I'm really interested to see, because you get a lot of Rooney lovers on Twitter. Let's have a look what people are saying, and I'll tell you what I said. I said, Rooney's a bloody centre midfielder. Jesus wept. It must be in his contract. He can't be subbed or dropped because he's been total crap. Alex is saying it's Groundhog Day with Rooney. Lorraine Hart is saying he's got some hold over Man United. Something not quite right about it. Dan Roberts been saying it for ages. When Moyes gave him the new contract, he must have got a must-play fit clause. MUFC Dazzler saying we all see it, but Jose doesn't. Selbs, I've thought it for ages. And G Van Sanga saying, remember when he said he wouldn't play him below a number 9? I mean, the only good thing is that Rashford are... not Rashford. Dean Cook saying we need Diego Costa. I don't know. I think we've got a good striker. But if the number 10's not doing the job, the number 10's not doing the job. And it's very disappointing is what I would say. And I think we all know that. Mata with the cross now. I mean, let's just get ahead on it and we can go home. But there's no point crossing it near to Wayne Rooney. I back Jose, you know I do. I want him to do well more than anything, and it's a corner from Fellaini there. But there's two issues that we've got for Manchester United. I think two issues on the pitch are Fellaini and Rooney are just not a dynamic midfield. You can play one and put somebody else in there, but both of them, it just doesn't work. Another issue is that he's stubborn, and I'm sure Rooney will get a lot of stick after this game. Unless he produces a world-class finish or something like that. I think he'll get a lot of stick. And it'll be all about he should be dropped. Remember, let's not forget, he was rested this week. But Jose's stubborn and he'll stand by him. And then I just can't help thinking, why are Michael Carrick or Schweinsteiger not playing? And he's not going to do that either. I mean, Rooney's playing on the right wing now, which, to be honest, he can put a decent cross in every now and again. But that was crap. It's overhit. I can't understand it. I can't understand why he's not wanting to win this game, that he won't take him off. You got Herrera and Memphis there, and I imagine he's probably thinking, who can I take off that's not Rooney? Oh, what a save by Gomez. It was a good header by Zlatan. He's kicking the post. It was a lofted little, like a dinky chipped cross from Fellaini, I think it is. And it's perfect for Zlatan to run on and head. And at full stretch, Gomez, that's what Zlatan's there for. He palms it away. Probably a bit of a Hollywood save, to be honest, but at least Fellaini's sort of stepping it up a bit. Rooney's actually found a pass there. Jesus. Right, Pogba with a bit of space. He's going to hit it. It's all right when you're hitting the bar from 40 yards, but I know what I think he'll do. I think he'll take Pogba off and bring Herrera on. It's a great header by Zlatan. It's just a shame it's not I mean, he does so much with it. It's a shame it's just not another foot wider of the keeper. Plentiful. The Fellaini lovers saying Fellaini's been masterful. I think he's been a bit crap at times, but he's certainly way better than Rooney. What are you thinking? I mean, I think a point's a total waste, because I think, whilst we could have lost the game, I just think, what if we took Rooney off when we should have done? I think we would have won it. I do. Flying Scotsman, Pogba's a flop. Team is a joke, says Addy. I think this team at the moment, as horrible as it sounds, I think if we played Liverpool or Arsenal, they'd beat us. Fair play Fellaini, he did well there. He was in the right box and he found a pass. Foul to United. 10 minutes to go. If I was a betting man, I'd say it's going to be a draw. Come on, United. I don't care by hook or by crook. We can't be putting our pressure on next week. We've got Watford, Leicester and Stoke, and then after the international break we've got Chelsea and Leicester. We need to be getting maximum points from Watford, Leicester and Stoke, and if we don't get maximum points from the first one, it just puts a lot of pressure on us against Watford. Gomez punches it clear and he gives the foul. It's almost irrelevant to make the Rooney substitution now because we're into the 80th minute. I mean, maybe he's allowed to be subbed in the 80th minute. Maybe in the last 10 minutes of the game he can be subbed. There's just no reason why he wasn't subbed at 60 minutes. Don't know why that's a foul on the keeper when he's clearly punched it. Aditya thinks we're going to win it. I hope so. User 12 says sack Mourinho. Path is having a wank. That's what he said. Dina, why Daniel? When Rooney scores, everyone is like he's God, but he has one bad game and gets hate. That's from FTN Priestley. He's been crap for more than one game, mate. I hope to God he scores the winner. No one will celebrate it more than me because I want Manchester United to get 3 points. But Flaney's going to get booked, I think. No, he's not. I'll say this about Fellaini. He's a limited footballer, and I think people get lost in the fact that he's trying really hard. If you had there's better defensive midfielders than him, and if we had a better defensive midfielder, we would be doing better as a team. But he's tried hard. 2-0, 2-1. We've lost this game because we didn't take Rooney off. Simple as that. What do you want me to say? What are you going to say? I mean, I just tweeted it. It comes down to this. We've lost this game because, for whatever reason, he won't sub Rooney. I feel sick. I will never get up and walk away from you, the United stand, because we've got to stand together as United fans, and that's what being a fan is like. But I mean, I've only been doing these watch-alongs for a few months. If I was sat watching this like I used to, I'd be kicking stuff and I'd be out of the room because I'm disgusted. I'm absolutely disgusted. I mean, I never thought we were going to have this problem with this manager because it's his way or the highway, as we've seen with Schweinsteiger. But why is there no consistency? Why? I don't get it. Watford want it more. They've never stopped. They've kept going. Makes you sick. Makes you absolutely sick. Just all I can say is just hang in there. Don't let it ruin your weekend. I know it probably will. And we will definitely be having a very interesting show tonight at 8:30. And he takes Luke Shaw off for Memphis. So there will be no substitution of Rooney today. Just to rub the final bit of salt into the wound, there will be no substitution of Wayne Rooney today. It makes you feel sick, is all I would say. Absolutely sick. So I thought don't know what I thought. I don't actually know what I thought anymore. I'm very rarely another crap cross from Rooney. I'm very rarely lost for words, but I'm totally stunned, to be honest, how we've made 3 substitutions and Rooney's still on the pitch. I'm just totally stunned. I really am, and I always wear my heart on the sleeve when it comes to the United stand and Manchester United and you guys, and I'm just stunned because I never expected it of this manager. I've known this manager from that time he came to Old Trafford with Porto and ran up, and absolutely I wanted to punch him in the face when he was running on that touchline celebrating, and when he went to Chelsea and turned them into the dominant force and ground out results week after week. I just never expected this of this manager, that he would allow himself to be so... He's either blind to what Rooney is, or he can't do anything about what Rooney is. But I can't say the words Mourinho out or anything like that, because that's ridiculous. But I can't defend him in relation to this. I don't understand it. I can't understand it. I would love you lot on the live comments to get commenting and tell me what you think is going on, because I can't understand it. I can't understand how today we've made 3 substitutions and it's abundantly clear to anybody at any level of football that Rooney has to go off, and I'm baffled. I'm just baffled. Depressing. It's depressing. We thought we were on something new, but unfortunately, the longer this man plays for Manchester United, then the more problems we're gonna have. I've got no sympathy for you, Jose. I absolutely love him to bits. I think he's the brilliant manager. I think he's the right man for Manchester United. But you've thrown 3 points away today because you just won't take off this person. And I'd argue with anybody, absolutely anybody. Imagine, Herrera's not even come on the pitch. Herrera isn't even on the pitch. And what could Herrera have done in that position? It makes me sick. I feel so sorry for all you lot. We said this so many times. I know how I feel. And I feel so sorry for all of you lot, because I feel gutted. Absolutely gutted. And I know I can lose. I can definitely lose, and I can take it on the chin. I took the City result on the chin. But what I can't lose to is when there's something sinister like this going on, that makes no sense, that any Manchester United fan can see that is probably... he's been poor for a long time. He should have been dropped for a long time. But today, I'd struggle to give him 3 out of 10. And for him to still be on the pitch for at least half an hour of that game, and we could have done something about it. We got back into the game at 1-1. Maybe we didn't deserve to do it. We got back into the game at 1-1. And he keeps him on. We blow the chance of probably winning it. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what the solution's going to be, because the solution was so abundantly clear to any manager that he needed to come off. We're into stoppage time. And the thing that makes me laugh is, you know what I think about the dominance of ex-professional footballers. It's one of the reasons we do the United Stand, is because I think you get real proper opinion from fans and you lot, because we're passionate. You won't get an ex-professional footballer like Ferdinand or Scholes coming out and saying that Rooney was crap today and he should never play for Manchester United again, because they're mates with him. They'll say it about other people who they've got an axe to grind with. And I'm sure they'll be very vocal about Jose because Giggs wasn't given the job. But so that's the inconsistency that will frustrate me, and I probably won't listen to them because I'm that annoyed. But for anybody with half a brain, he should be being hung out to dry, and Jose should be hung out to dry for the fact that he didn't take him off. He should be asked that question: why didn't you take him off? Rooney should be sent off for that. He should get a red card for that. He's not even going to get a yellow. Oh, he's got a yellow card. It was probably a red. No, it wasn't a red, to be fair. I thought it was... From the initial one, it looked like he'd stamped in. No, it wasn't a red, to be fair. It's probably the only thing he hasn't got right. Yellow card. A red would have been quite nice because he would have got a 3-match ban. Well, all I can say is go off and do whatever you've got planned. I'm gutted. I feel sick. I feel absolutely sick. I feel really... Sunday night at 8:30 tonight. We're live every week, so please subscribe to the channel if you haven't and join us at 8:30 because I think it's going to be probably the show I never wanted us to be doing after last season. We did it quite regularly, and I think it's going to be obviously got Alex and Keon, and it could be 3. Penalty. Fellaini's just given a penalty away. Was it a penalty? Yeah. I mean, I hate to say I told you so, but that's why I shouldn't be anywhere near a United shirt. I feel so fed up. So join us at 8:30. It's going to be a hell of a show. I think it's going to be a hell of a show. I'm going to do my match reaction after this. I probably might wait a few minutes because I do want to see what Jose's got to say. Actually, I'm quite intrigued by that. So I won't. I'll talk to you for a few minutes. Then I'm going to do a live match reaction probably in about 15-20 minutes. I really want to see what Jose's got to say. I don't think he'll have calmed down at all. And then obviously 8:30 tonight. I don't know why you want to save it, David, because it's the 94th minute anyway. I'd just turn around and walk off the pitch. What's 3-1, 2-1? Who gives a shit? We've lost the game. 3-1. I look at Jose there and I instantly feel sorry for him because I think he's the right manager. But then I just think you either need to come out and say, I'm not allowed to drop Wayne Rooney because it's your reputation that's going to get damaged, or I'm sorry, Jose, I love you to bits, but you're a fucking idiot. You're an absolute idiot. And you should listen to the fans because the fans have been saying this for over 2 years. He's finished. Ashley Young came out in the first half. Forgot he was even playing. He's crap. Why didn't you sell him? Another player on over 100 grand a week who's an absolute joke in a United shirt. Yeah, I agree. Pogba should be doing more. I really do. But disgusted. And for me, that game is lost on the basis that Rooney should have been subbed at least on the 60-minute mark. And he's talking to the referee now. The referee, Wayne, can't explain why you're crap. He doesn't know. He can't tell you why you're shit. Don't go arguing about, I'm the captain now and the game's over. I'm going to talk to you about that Fellaini penalty. You're the reason we've just lost that game. You're a joke, pal. You should withdraw yourself from the United team out of respect for the club that's paid you a lot of money and made you a star. You should withdraw yourself from that team because that's an embarrassment as a footballer. You should be appalled by that, and you clearly don't have it in you anymore to pull it out of the bag. Jose, I think if you cannot drop him because there's something in a contract, then you need to release that publicly because you're being mugged off. How you can't see that Rooney should have been subbed, I don't know. I really don't understand it. I back this manager. He is the right manager for Manchester United, and I will not turn on him after 5 or 6 games. But the reality is, the cold, harsh fact is, we lost that game today because he didn't sub Wayne Rooney. That today was 3 points gone. And I look at the table. Liverpool are ahead of us. They've got a point more than us. Arsenal are ahead of us with a point more. Chelsea are ahead of us, and they've all played tougher fixtures. I'm sorry, they have all played tougher fixtures. We had Manchester City at home, and we lost. Watford away, Hull away, Bournemouth away, Southampton at home. These aren't difficult games, and we've got 9 points from that. It's pitiful. But whatever happens, and whoever you blame, whatever happens, we gave 3 points away today because he didn't take Wayne Rooney off on the 60-minute mark. I don't know why Ander Herrera didn't play. He deserved to start. Valencia's not a right back. We know that. And I can't help but just keep coming back to the same old problem that Jose has mugged himself off. Because in his very first press conference, he said, I will never play Rooney as a midfielder. Well, I saw Rooney playing as a midfielder for nearly 90 minutes today. I won't play square pegs in round holes. Well, you had Valencia at right back. God knows where Ashley Young was meant to be playing. I'm stunned because I didn't expect this. This manager I've known throughout my lifetime, watching his teams, like I said, from that very first time he came as a Porto manager, and he is not that manager. He's not the manager. He has thrown Schweinsteiger to the absolute dogs. And whether you agree with that being right or wrong, he's done it. Schweinsteiger could offer far, far more than any of that crap today, and certainly more than the man you are using to lead Manchester United and build a team round as our number 10. You stick with that stubbornly, but you won't go anywhere near Schweinsteiger. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. And as I keep saying as well, Roy Hodgson used to sub Wayne Rooney after 70 minutes in the Euros because his legs had gone. Premier League's more demanding than international football, so why is Rooney consistently playing 90 minutes every game? It's sinister, it's odd, I'm baffled by it, but I just do not know. And all the haters can come on and laugh and shout Liverpool like you are in your live comments and whatever, and laugh and ha ha ha. Do you think I care? And if there's United fans on there reacting to it, do you think I really care? We've had 3 years of this. I don't really give a shit about what rival fans think because we're going to be arguing amongst ourselves, and that's what matters. United fans are what matters. What's going on at United matters. I don't really care what rivals do. Bring it on. We totally deserve it. We've got bigger fish to fry. And the thing that we'll be discussing tonight at 8:30 is, and I'm sure it'll be quite passionate, and I urge you to join us because I'm sure we're all going to be really annoyed, is I can't tell you what's going to happen with United now. When we made the signings in the summer, I was excited. When we got Jose in as manager, I was excited. But if you're going to play Fellaini and Rooney in a 3-man midfield, then we're going to lose to Watford. Then we're going to probably lose to Leicester. Then we might lose to Stoke. That will happen because they are not a midfield that is going to cause many Premier League teams problems. Whatever people want to say about stats, the fact is, every time I saw Rooney today, he either misplaced a pass, got tackled off the ball, too slow. One of the worst performances, and he's been getting stick for a long time, but one of the worst performances I've seen ever in a United shirt. Certainly from Wayne Rooney, and certainly as a captain of Manchester United. De Gea probably could have done better on the first goal. Couldn't do anything about the other two. Valencia's just not a right back. I don't care what anybody says. Was making goals. He's refusing to put the crosses in now. I thought Luke Shaw did okay. Bay and Smalling, can you blame them for either goal? I don't know. Pogba was poor. Fellaini had little bits, but ultimately it's not really about whether he played well or not. He's Marouane Fellaini. He's slow and he's clumsy. Rooney, just atrocious. Zlatan, yeah, he wasn't that great, but he did make the goal. Rashford, I thought Rashford was really poor as well. Final ball, poor. Ashley Young, crap. So just you can't win a game with so many bad performances. But the thing that stands out is Rooney was just absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. Somebody just mentioned there that Jose's turned us into Chelsea. Chelsea had a bad run of games last year. Has Jose lost his touch? I think this United team could be really good if he'd played Herrera and not Rooney today. I think his loyalty to the wrong players is the problem. Right, I'm going to end it here because I've been doing 3 hours for a watch-along. I'm going to finish it. I'm going to watch what Jose's got to say on his press conference, and then I'm going to do a live match reaction for about 5 minutes. So keep an eye out for that. I'll tweet it, or just if you've subscribed, you'll probably get a notification when we go live. I normally go and do my live match reaction straight after, but I think it's so important to listen to what Jose's got to say because I'm baffled, I'm stunned, and I need to know it. If you're not going to watch the live match reaction I'm going to do in about 10-15 minutes, join us tonight at 8:30. It's going to be a very interesting show. We've got Alex Key and hopefully Joey on as well, and I'm sure it's going to be a massive, massive rant and a massive, massive jump into bafflement, if that is a word. I'm just stunned by it. I'm gutted to lose a game, but I'm stunned, absolutely stunned. I'm sorry. We said sorry to you lot a lot, and I know it's not our place to say sorry, but I apologise because you won't get one from the club. Wayne Rooney should have been subbed today, and somebody should come out and say that. But thanks everybody for watching who's watched the whole lot. Join us at 8:30, and I will be live again in about 15 minutes with a very short match reaction, but I'm going to go and see what the manager's got to say because I'm stunned. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We've got to all stay together. I'll speak to you all later at 8:30 or in a few minutes' time. Thanks everybody.